Salute, 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 everybody. Oh man, I think my phone's ringing. What's going on, everybody? This is gonna be an open panel, man. So we all saw what happened with Floyd, huh? I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, it's not funny. And I haven't done a live in a minute, bro. It's been like a month, bro. Hold on. Text this guy. Oh man, fool. But salute to Buck, bro. What are your thoughts about what happened with Floyd, bro?
I mean, Passport Blueprint, Ulysses, salute to the chat and salute to everybody in the bushes watching this. What are my thoughts? I mean, this is this is nasty behavior. This is one of the worst things you could ever do as a human being. Worst things. This is, in my opinion, when I read the article, because the way it is, there's levels to this, right? The lower the age, the worse it is. And he was in the single digits range, and I was like, and he brought the toys. He brought those hand glove. What is that toy? What's it called? I don't even know because I don't even fucking know these fucking kids toys. But some toys, if you have this article pulled up, it was just crazy, man. And he had like 5 phones, a couple of bank chargers, couple of those storage. And I was looking at his videos earlier today because in the past I wasn't paying attention to him because I was always like, yo, this dude is lame and all that. But today I went back right after this news. I went back and watched some of his lives. And once you rewatch some of his lives, you start seeing the signs that he was a PDF, that he is a PDF. You start seeing it when you look clear. It's like when you rewatch it, watch the lives, you see the signs. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm glad his channel is still up, but people can still review it. But one of the things I want to discuss is he had a couple of mega donators that nobody's talking about it. And if I were them, I'd be concerned because you pretty much funded his lifestyle. The Brazilian, what the article says, for the last 3 years, they've been checking on this for the last 3 years. So if they see this all the way for the last 3 years, and they found out that you funded his lifestyle, that is pretty much a conspiracy charge, a RICO or a conspiracy charge. You had certain individuals today who was on panels trying to defend themselves and talk more and all that. And I'm like, bro, the more you keep explaining yourself, the more you're digging yourself into a hole. You were the top donators, and you keep going to these panels trying to defend yourself, trying to say that, oh, I don't have anything to worry about. Yes, you have something to worry about, but what they're gonna do is they're gonna revert back to those Cash App statements, those monthly, because they can always go to the government can always go back to these organizations, and they can submit the data. Even if you delete the data, they can submit it, and they can have all the data dating back to what for the last couple of years what Floyd had. And if they found out that you donated while he was doing this shit, you can be held accountable for this. I think somebody got a background. I'm hearing a background.
That's me.
Yeah. So what they're gonna find out is, like, if they found out that you were donating to him while he was doing this stuff for the last 3 years, as they said, if he was engaged in this last 3 years, that you can be held accountable for this. Floyd is already done, right? 35. He's gonna get his 20 to 30 years in Brazil. Then he's also going to get another 10 years in the U.S. Then after that, he has to register for as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Floyd is done, right? But I'm talking about the donators, the mega donators that he had. Um, if you pull up his videos, you'll see back in the day, he was saying, "Yo, I won't do anything until you fund my trip to go to Brazil, to go to Colombia." And if those mega donors funded the trip, I mean, they can be responsible for I mean, that's a conspiracy charge.
But I mean, I read what the Brazilians are saying on the Brazilian side, and it kind of seems like maybe he got caught with one minor or something like that. But like, what they're trying to pin him is like he's kind of like helping these foreigners. And bro, I mean, first of all, just to me, I've been talking to a few Brazilians, and like they're telling me that they feel like he got set up. Like they don't feel like he's actually he could be guilty, because like it's when you look at the case, it doesn't make any sense. Like he doesn't speak Portuguese, first of all. So how is he gonna get these girls anyways, and how is he gonna get them to connect with like other foreigners as well? And
No, no.
anybody that,
Have you read the article?
yeah, that's what they're saying. Like they're saying like,
They're saying that he was trying to facilitate those tapes, and he was trying to sell it over the black web, the dark web.
I don't know. I didn't read that one, but the
There
one
was
that
there
I
was there was one that said that he
read.
was trying to facilitate those. That's why when you look at his storage, he had a couple of stories like that.
Mm,
So yes, I mean this is, I mean he's allegedly, this is again, this is allegations at the end of the day, but man, this is clear. The proof is there, bro. At the end of the day, I just want to see how it pans out in court.
mm,
I just want to see how it pans out in the courtroom,
I think
because
so.
right
I think
now
most of
the
it, in
odds
my
are
personal
against them.
opinion, I think most of it is bullshit though, bro. Because first of all, he's not gonna be able to get no girls, bro. He doesn't speak no Portuguese, bro. And so how is he gonna get these girls to commit to those acts, like using his Google Translate? And then no criminal organization that's involved in that is gonna let him inside. If you're in the traffic of that business, would you let Floyd inside your criminal enterprise? No. So it's just like I don't the way they make it seem like it's just kind of like always like pushing these girls for other foreigners and he's making money. I don't think so, bro. We all know that he's a little slow in the head and he doesn't have that ability to articulate himself. Like there's a lot of things that go into this, and there's no way in hell that Floyd was able to get this ball rolling out. If he messed around with a minor, so be it. But the way that article is saying is like he's like getting girls and yeah, no, I don't believe that. I don't think he got a 6-year-old girl. If I could be honest, either, bro. I don't
I
think
think
so.
you listen. I think you're kind of underestimating Floyd. Yeah, he might be. You got to think about, he might be slow. Okay, right. But there's some artistic people that they are good in other areas in life, right? They can be like good in math, good in physics. Maybe they might be slow in social settings, but he might be, let's just say, good in technology, good how to extract certain things.
Mm.
He might be good in those aspects, but that's what I'm saying. He's, like I said, I just want to see how it pans out in the courtroom and more evidence comes out. But right now, the evidence is just against him, man. It's I know it's allegedly, but it just, when you read the article, it's just it's just my it's this is nasty work. I just want to see what
I
other
mean, I
guys
don't know because
say.
there's been a lot of articles thrown out there, and even in Colombia, there've been a lot of articles thrown out there against like foreigners, and like me knowing how the culture is in Colombia very well, I know that most of the articles that I read are just full of shit. Like, do I believe they're catching guys that are doing some stuff? Yeah, of course, bro. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like when you really know how those people are in that city and that country, you kind of like you look at it with a second bird eye view. You're just like, I don't believe most of it.
Me, my viewpoint is this. Um, I think the article's making it a little bit too big than what it is. I think, is he messing? I don't know. Well, let's just wait to see what the evidence actually brings out. Because they ain't telling everything. Um, so let's wait till the actual evidence come out, what the court's saying. But as far as with the people donating, them getting arrested. I don't see that happening because you have to improve intent. And if they don't have knowledge of intent that he was going to do this, they can't nail him. They can't nail these donators because they was like, I didn't know he was doing this. Because if you go back to the videos, you can see that all the videos he's been with women, they've been of age. So there's no way we can improve intent that these donors knew about him funding the trip to go do child tourism. It's just going to be extremely difficult to prove that with the donors.
No.
They could probably get out of these donors if they do anything over $600 and they didn't report it, you may get them for that at most. But other than that, I can't see them going after the donors all because this guy is freaking, doing all this stuff. It's very difficult to prove that.
Passport. Wait. You saying it's difficult to prove it? Okay, let me just set an example right now. Okay, let me just set an example. Let's say Floyd today was going to Brazil, and he did a fundraiser. Hey, I'm going to Brazil, I need a $1,000 fundraiser, and let's just say he got let's just say out of that 1,000, 200 it came from random subscribers, right? Like 60 of them. Then he had 2 mega donors that donated 800, 400 each. So let's say he got that goal. He purchased the ticket to go to Brazil, and let's just say he goes to Rio and engaged in underage, chicks, and he get caught. Are those 2 mega donors going to be held accountable for it? Let's say Floyd got
because they don't know what his activities are. He just asks for donations for a trip. What the content of his trip is they didn't know that he was going to go do this stuff. So they can't be held responsible for that stuff, or because they donated.
Okay, so you're saying that in order for them to get held accountable, he will literally have to say what he's truly going there for, right?
The donors would have to know the intent of what he's doing. If they know the intent that he was going down there to do that type of stuff, and you can prove that they knew that he was going down to do that intent, that particular stuff, and that is going to be extremely difficult to prove. But if they can prove that these donors knew that he was going down there to do that, then yes, they will be held accountable. But
so the barrier of proof is on the government, right? You're saying?
Yeah, the government would have to find out, and the government's gonna look at it as like, can we prove it? And they're gonna just look at it and say no, because there's no evidence to say that these donors knew that he was going to go do this. Because he's on a YouTube channel, and all we know him from doing is travel. Now, if he goes down there and do something stupid, it's like if he goes down there and unalives, do a fundraiser, and then he goes down there and he unalives somebody. How do we know that he went down there to unalive somebody? We know he was doing it for a trip. You can't nail
What's up,
a person's actions or what he does when he gets down there if he's fundraising just for a trip. You can't nail him for that. You can't nail the donors for that. It's next to impossible to prove that.
Yeah, there was a lot of YouTube lawyers that was saying, "Oh, man, these donors, they should get the donators," and I'm like, there's a good. I'm saying there's arguments to both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with you. They would have to, excuse me, they would have to prove it. And if they found out that there's 2 donators talked to him on the back end, and he said he was gonna do what he was gonna do truly, then they can get him for that. But then they have to prove that. They would have to prove the voice notes, the WhatsApp exchange messages, to prove that. But if he did a fundraiser and he said, "Oh, I'm going to Brazil," and they don't know his true intent, and they fund that trip, they you saying they can't be held accountable, right, for it?
No, because all he's doing is fundraising. It's been his norm anyway, and he hasn't really been doing that on all his other trips that we know of. All he's been doing is fundraising, go on trips, and whatever he does, most of the stuff we can look back and say most of the stuff he's been doing is with adults. So how do we know on this trip he was going to go do it with kids? We don't know that. Now, what he's probably going to get burned is whatever's on these electronic devices, because if he's in possession of something that's illegal, then he's going to get burned for that. That's what I'm kind of interested, because I'm waiting for them to, extract what's in those phones and his computer.
Yeah.
That's the interesting stuff I want to know. Now, as far as what he was doing in Rio and stuff with meeting up with kids and stuff, if kids ID his butt and say, hey, it was him, he's got a problem. But like I said, everything is very premature at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
so he's innocent until proven guilty, but
allegedly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw the guy underneath the bus, especially when I've never been that type of dude, bro. So I mean, hopefully,
allegedly. It's look. At the end of the day, this is allegations, man. It's allegedly. The courts gotta prove this in the court system, and we gotta see the evidence that's stacked against them. And as Passport Blueprint said, I'm also more interested in what is those in those storages, like what he was storing in those data in the
because
storages.
Floyd can't get women, bro. Like, I mean, he's a weird dude. Like, even when you see him talk to women, like he just like the women are just looking at him. He's like, I don't see him doing that, because how is he gonna be able to get those girls through? Like I say, Google Translate. Like, I know people do go overseas and they do fucked up shit, dude. But like, the way you look at the police reports, they're saying that he was helping other foreigners do that. I don't think he was capable of doing that, bro. Like, I mean, no.
Wait. Somebody was saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody was saying that he was facilitating those CP stuff.
I don't think so, bro.
Those PDF stuff. Passport Blueprint, can you confirm, or somebody else in the panel? I heard that he was facilitating.
How can you facilitate something that he don't even know the language you move about in that place?
No. I heard that he was facilitating that to outsiders outside of Brazil.
Outside of Brazil, I haven't heard anything from this cat.
Okay.
I haven't heard nothing from him. I was shocked that he was even still traveling.
Yeah, and we'll see.
Here's the thing. This is what happens when you got a whole bunch of people that go on YouTube and just want to support these crash out dummies instead of the
bingo.
Instead of the small content creators like Ulysses and Hispanic Expat and myself, who gives out positive content, we could use that money so we can give you more content and travel all over the particular countries. Y'all rather go over here and give money to a bunch of goddamn losers who all giving y'all nothing but half-ass filth and stuff like that. But instead of good content creators giving y'all positive stuff, informative stuff, and stuff that can help you on your journey to these countries and stuff, rather than these dudes that's causing nothing but hate and discontent, because of all this crap that's going on, rules are tightening up. Because if you remember the incident that happened with the guy with the kids in the hotel room in Medellin, what happened after that? The mayor invited Interpol to Medellin, and they set up camp. And they were running operations and doing research on passport roads all up and down the coast. So all information that Interpol was having, they were sharing it with law enforcement agencies all up and down the coast. So all this is getting fed globally on passport roads, including the U.S. So you don't know what's going on behind the scenes with law enforcement in these different countries, especially when Interpol gets in the game. So now we got all these new technologies and stuff like that getting put in airports and stuff like that. that's monitoring our travel right now. And there's some people getting rejected, going into countries right now.
Facts.
But you guys want to support all this grimy shit. And here we are, good content creators giving you good information, and y'all don't even support us.
Facts.
So I basically got no freaking feelings about any of these motherfuckers that get caught up in this bullshit. You supported that shit, you funded those trips, and they get busted. Too bad, so sad. I don't care.
Facts. And have you heard about what Colombia just did? I don't know if this is official or not. Colombia now requires U.S. citizens entering the country to have FBI background check.
No, that's like for the visa, bro. It's for the visa.
For the
Is that a travel visa?
For the visa, for residential visa, bro.
Residential visa? Okay. But they didn't even strict on who comes in now. Because how they was getting strict, how they was doing their protocols in Medellin is now going nationwide throughout the country.
Yeah.
As of next year. So those requirements is happening to all of them.
I mean, there was a group. There was a group of guys last month who got rejected in Medellin. So it was five dudes, right? 4 of them were cool. They had a clean background. One of them was on the angel breast, and guess what? They all got denied at the same time, just because they were associates. They all came together, and it was all of them that was with that one dude. Because of that, they all got rejected. They got sent back home to the States.
Exactly. That's what's happening now. There are going to be more rejections trying to get into Colombia now. And keep in mind, there's tensions between the U.S. and Colombia because after the opening of the United Nations, I forgot what session number it was, this year's session of the United Nations, the president of Colombia went outside and told us and was saying, soldiers don't follow illegal orders. They revoked his freaking visa and kicked him out of the country. So you guys from the U.S., there's tension. So you might not get treated very well going to Colombia. Again, geopolitics do play a role in travel.
You know how like every neighborhood has like that one crazy neighbor that people stay away from? That's what America is right now in Latin America and or throughout the world. That's how people view Americans or view the government as a whole. Like everybody just, and then I think if this war happens with Venezuela, it's kind of just going to be like really bad. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like Colombia definitely puts visa restrictions on us. Like we already cut the aid towards Colombia anyway, so like the president has nothing to lose. I mean,
telling y'all, and this thing with Floyd, you don't know what the political ramifications of what tensions going on between Brazil and the United States, especially with terrorists and stuff going on. You don't know what they're doing because everybody thinking, oh, he's an American citizen, they don't let him go. No, you commit a crime in the country, you're doing a time in that country.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
They ain't letting nobody go. And you're not gonna see Donald Trump trying to get little dusty dude like Floyd out of there because
that deserves a drum roll. Let me see. I had to do it. I'm sorry, but yeah,
that was cold. That was cold.
Ulysses, read David Smith's comment.
They found videos on his hard drive engaging in acts. I don't know, dude, because they're just saying a bunch of shit right now, bro. Like,
right, yeah.
I kind of feel like they say anything when it comes to arresting gringos. Like, they just trying to blow shit out of proportion, dude. Like,
I don't know, because I know about extracting videos off of hard drives and stuff.
We'll see, bro. Like, that's why they have to go to court, bro. But we'll find out. I'm not gonna say nothing about Floyd like in a negative way. I'm gonna just say that I tried to have a conversation with him one time, on shout out to Razor Ray's channel, but like. he don't listen, bro. Like a lot of people try to give him advice, try to give Jay real advice. Like these guys are just crash out dummies, bro. Like I think some of the people that donated to his channel are like kind of like, I'm not gonna say responsible, but like you knew what he was about. You knew that he was a crash out dummy. You know that he does dumb shit and he does like he makes all of us Americans look bad no matter what our nationality or I'm sorry, our color of our skin is. Like at the
And
end of the
another,
day, they put us on one group. They'll put us on as a gringo group, no matter what our skin color is.
and another thing, and this is another thing that pisses me off. When we try to tell you guys, hey, chill, chill back, lay back and stuff. Don't be like acting like a bunch of mongers or whatever you guys call yourselves and stuff. Y'all get in your goddamn feelings and get all butthurt and you want to take shots at us and stuff like that. And now you see the end results of this shit because you got all these dudes right now who are acting like little predators and perverts and getting caught up in bad shit that's making us look bad. And y'all the ones sitting over here financing this shit. And ain't nobody. And now when they do something bad, y'all want to say something about it right now. But when we try to warn you before the shit happens, y'all want to jump in our asses and stuff like that. Because I had that shit happen to me. I had Average Man. That happened to Average Man Unplugged. It happened to a bunch of dudes that is trying to say, yo, y'all got to chill. And y'all decide to come out of your face and get all of your goddamn feelings about it. But now everybody wants to be fucking, expert and shit and want to give expert advice. Oh, he did this and he do that. And look at the shit. What happened with Floyd? He did the only thing with Floyd is he's the one that got caught. I bet you there's a bunch of y'all motherfuckers out there that's doing the shit.
Look, there's a bunch of dudes, and I'm telling you, bro. There's a bunch of, like, for example, that dude that got caught in Medellin with the sex toys, the butt plugs, and all that. There's all kind of weird dudes going to these countries fulfilling so weird sexual fantasies, and
It
you
ain't the
have
white
a
boys,
lot of
bro.
the.
It ain't the white boys, it's the brothers.
No. It's to be honest with you, it's all group, right? Because
It's
that
all
guy that
groups,
got caught,
bro.
because that guy that got caught with the butt plug and the sex toys and et cetera, he was actually a white American. But
No,
I'm
I'm not
not
saying
saying
it, it, it,
it's one group. It's
it,
all group.
it's all groups, yeah. It's not just the white boys.
Yeah, and it used to be them, but now since the passport bro movement is growing, it's becoming now more diverse. I even like there's even some white guys right now where they're saying who are mongers. They crediting the passport bros and saying thanks for taking all the attention away from us. Low key, that's what they're saying. I swear. There was one white guy that said that. I swear to God, there was one white guy that said that. He said, "Thanks for taking the attention away from us." Because this used to, this is actually
Oh my
this
god.
No,
mongering
but
is
you
like
know
they've
the
been.
people that no. There's this guy that's like he's done like he made a movie like 2 years ago, but I think it's called Innocent of the Children, something like that. I don't know. I'm probably saying the name wrong, but he does undercover work and he like rescues these kids, bro. Like and it's like when you see his like he has a bunch of videos like podcasting comes out like, but he did undercover work in many countries in Asia and Latin America. He did like Colombia, Mexico, etc., etc. But these organized crimes that syndicates that do this, they're very secluded. Only like the top 1% of people know about this shit. And so he's talking about like how he did his undercover work and like one of the persons that got busted was a Miss Universal for Cartagena, like a beautiful girl. Actually, the video's still on YouTube. Like you can see the police raid. Like this girl had like an island where she had like kids, bro. And, like they're selling these kids like 8, 9, 10. And this girl, and it was a girl that was like orchestrating. She was in charge of it. She was like a Universal for Cartagena, beautiful black girl and shit, dude. And like, so this dude is talking about like, bro, the people that do this shit, you would never know. Like they're like your everyday neighbors. Like they're not like thugs with tattoos on their face. Like you're talking about like a Miss
Yeah,
Universal girl, like a beautiful woman that you would never think a woman as a woman, especially that looks that good, would be involved in this shit, bro. But like when he talks, in his podcast, and like I don't know what the movie is called, but I think people should watch it. Like I think it's called Innocent of Kids or something. But it just like it
I
opens
remember what it's called. It's because I saw it when it came out.
Oh, okay.
There's the Sound of Freedom.
The Sound of Freedom. There you
Yeah,
go, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
sound.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
yeah.
Sound of Freedom, bro. But this guy, like the guy that's like does that. He has like a lot of interviews and like people should watch this shit. Like look to learn like the people that do this shit. Like that's why when I look at Floyd, I'm just like when I look at this guy that's like did this for years undercover work, and I look at Floyd, I don't think he's capable of like sophisticating this shit, bro. It's a lot
I
of work that
mean,
goes behind it, bro. It's a lot of money, a lot of you have to have the right connects, bro. They don't just let anybody in, fool.
facts.
And I
But
and one more thing, come on, fool. If anybody has an organized crime for anything, whether it's drugs, pimping, who the hell in their right mind is gonna let somebody like Floyd inside their gang? Come on, bro.
I
It's
think
common sense,
he
man.
may
Like,
have
come
done
on, man. Like,
something. I think he
you
may
li-
have
you
done
listen.
something maybe as a customer. That's about it.
I think here's the thing. I think I think we might underestimate Floyd as much as I want him to get the long term sentence and all that. I think we might be underestimating some of his capabilities. Like I was saying earlier, he might be dumb in certain areas in life, but he might be excellent in other areas. Like I'm talking about technology wise, he might be good with that aspect and all that. So, which is why I'm more interested. That's why I said I'm more interested how this pans out in the court system and what they found from him, because they might be more sophisticated than it actually is. So, um, but they've been saying that this shit was going on for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? In the United States, this shit wouldn't even been going on for 3 years. He would be get caught quick, which is why he actually did this shit in Brazil because he thought he could have get away with it. He did for a couple of years, but he eventually got caught. People people assume that, oh, this is his first time doing it. With all criminals, with all criminals, when they get caught, like for example, robbers, when they get caught, that wasn't their first time. That could have been their 15th time, their fifth time, whatever. Floyd, when he got caught right now, maybe who knows how many times he did this before. Maybe he probably did it in the States, didn't get caught. Maybe he was like, okay, the States is too hot. He probably found some articles where people getting caught. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this probably
yeah, but they do
this.
it more to like. I feel like when it comes to us Americans, they kind of just throw in like they throw the jail on top of us, bro. Like I'm not saying people don't deserve time, but it's just like not really like. To me, I don't respect it, fool, because I know how some of these countries operate, bro. Like, come on, Popeye, the damn, I can't say no bad words because I'm getting monetized in this live, but like the damn Sicario for Pablo Escobar, like I killed 200 people, I knocked down the plane of Bianca, and he only got what 20 years, but this guy that killed the DJ in Bogota gets 45. Come on, bro, that's a joke, dude. You got a guy that knocked down a damn plane and killed like 100 people plus and shit, and then he only gets 20 years. But this guy like killed the DJ. I don't think what he did was right, but whatever, dude. Like 20, he gets 45 years. Come on, man.
I
Somebody
think
in the
pretty much.
chat said, I think he's gonna set up. Bro, this is not something to get set up for. This is if you're gonna set up something, you set up people with drugs or you set up with people with other things. You don't do it with this. This is if you're the one who's setting this thing up, you might be even sicker than the actual person who's doing it. So I don't think it's a setup.
He
I
might have
think
I,
been set up
I
because
think
I've been set up in Mexico, bro. Like I took when I was in Cancun, I took a piss in the public when I'm not supposed to do. But the guys that work in the hotel zone, the club zone, they told the police, and it's because like these guys, well, I'm not gonna get into details, but like it's underground stuff that they do, and they have cooperation with the Mexican police. So I got into trouble because of that. Well, not trouble, but like I have to be like they try to extort me or whatever. So it does happen and shit, and you'll be surprised how much this happens to like foreigners overseas, bro. Like they see us as a dollar sign. So you'll be surprised, man. Like you have even families that let their daughters do this because they're so desperate for money. Like in DR, I've said this many times. I've dated girls and like they told me like, oh, when I was this age, I had a boyfriend that was an American that was this age. I'm like, what the fuck? But I know like the moms push these daughters to do that shit, bro, because of for money, because that's the culture. It's all
I
about what can I get, like I don't care if I have to sell my daughter. Same thing in Medellin, like the daughters whatever, when they grow up, they're gonna be whores. The moms are whores and the grandmas are whores, bro. I'm sorry to say it the way it is, but it's just the truth, though, dude. Like that's why you see so much prostitution over there in that city because it's just something that's culturally accepted. I've had women in that city tell me, "Oh, it's a job. It's seen as a job. It's not seen as something immoral." And that's what people have to realize too. Like when you look at some of this stuff, like you got to look at the viewpoint of the locals. Like the locals in Colombia, they can say all this shit, oh, sex tourism, whatever, dog. We all know that the locals look at it as a damn job. It's
I
not
think I
moral.
think the situation with Floyd is this: he got caught trying to get with underage kids, and that's it. None of this masterminding or plotting, planning some organization. He just got busted. That's what I think would happen. Because one time there was a video of him with a girl when he was down in Brazil, and that girl looked a little bit too young.
Oldest professional profession in the world. Yeah, dude, but in most countries it's frowned upon, bro. In most Latin countries it's frowned upon. It happens, but it's not like it's weird because like Colombia and as a whole is like the only place that I've been to where it's like people don't really care. And now they're complaining that foreigners are going over for that reason. But I'm like, bro, y'all created Walt Disney. Now you're mad because people want to write the kiddie parks and shit. Be like, but it is what it is, bro. But I think what maybe like what my best life said that maybe Floyd was desperate for money because to be honest with you, he hasn't been getting donations in the last 3 months. So how is he able to sustain himself in Brazil? Brazil's not that cheap.
Yeah, I think it had to do because even like months prior, he was trying to like put live streams out there, like pretty much say that he was trying to recruit money, like donations. But he hadn't gone on a trip for like over for probably close to a year. So he was, I mean, it, there probably could have been things that led him to going out there and you know basically doing those acts out of financial desperation. And
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like, but who knows, bro? Like, I'm not gonna throw him underneath the bus until all the facts come out, man. So
yeah, yeah, because there has to be obviously once like the actual evidence is out, then there will be a better picture as far
no,
as
who
what.
knows, bro? Who knows? Because look at what Miko Morowide did. Remember, he had some serious allegations and like what was it? Like he tied up somebody and threw him on the back of the truck, and his channel still blew up and he's still popular. He's still living abroad. So
Yeah,
Yeah, but
people forget
the
about Miko
Miko
Worldwide,
case,
but Miko Worldwide has some serious shit on his rap sheet, bro.
the difference is between Miko. Here's the thing, like I was saying earlier, this whole underage thing, there's levels to it, right? The lower it gets, the more wicked it is, right? But the Miko one was he was the guy he was messing with was 17 years old. And in certain states it can be legal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That one, which is why Miko came out quick. I'm not trying to defend what Miko did, but he came out quick. He did like 7 months in the county jail, and he was out, and he was back to. But this one, Floyd, if the allegations are true, this is weekend. He's gonna do a lot of time.
yeah,
He's
of
gonna
course, bro.
do
Of
a
course, bro.
lot
Nobody's
of time in
disputing that,
Brazil.
bro. But we're just saying this is just like to me, like I was talking to my Brazilian friend and he was telling me, bro, there's a lot of holes in this story and shit. And I take his advice because he's from there. And he's like, bro, like he could have pissed off somebody. He could have pissed off the Uber driver, a police officer. Somebody saw his channel and they decided to report him. Like you never know. For like people do get set up, but like I said, I don't know the facts, bro. Like I just want to wait. This is gonna take time. Brazilian court's gonna take a minute. I think he might make bail, bro. Who knows? And if he makes bail, if I was him, I would just bounce, bro.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you
well,
this. Let me ask you
he's not
this.
gonna make. I don't think he's. What's up, fellas? I don't think he's gonna make bail to be able to get out of there like that. And the comparison, you guys, not comparison, but you guys brought him up. Um, what's the character? Nico. I don't think. I don't think Floyd, because if I'm not mistaken, if some of y'all remember, with that Miko dilemma, I think Miko's family got resources. I'm not trying to be judgmental, even though we are all being judgmental right now. But I, I don't think Floyd's family got resources like Miko, because that counts a lot. If we're talking
Yeah, it
about these
does.
kind of things,
It does. It does.
um, when it comes to just the system, wherever, well, especially in those countries, especially in those countries. You know, money talk, bullshit walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, s- I mean, uh, somebody, Ulysses said he pissed off somebody. I mean, Floyd. Looking at Floyd's personality, I don't think he's the type that would like piss piss somebody off. Like he's not like a Relo personality. He's usually like he keeps it to himself. Like I don't. So I kind of disagree with it. I think if I'm being honest, man, I think there's a high chance that these allegations are true about him. Like I said, let's just see how it pans out in the court system. But I kind of want to get a viewpoint from a Brazilian who lives in Sao Paulo, what their viewpoint is on this case. Is this I just want to get their viewpoints on it.
But
Because
that's why I tell
And
sometimes
you,
there are.
I got it from that Brazilian guy. He's been all over Brazil and shit. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't think he wants me to talk about it. But like, I mean, I believe his side of the what he's saying. Like, bro, like people do get set up, and like he was telling me, like, bro, like the way he was telling me is like, bro, even when they come after murderers, they don't bring that much heat, bro. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah,
he's
it seemed a bit strange how they went in there and the camera was set up. It seems like very a schedule, very programmed. And I'm not saying again. I mean, it's we're in 2025, damn near 2026, right? Pretty much. Technology has come a long way. All the cops in the United States got, not all, but most cops in the United States got the little camera thingy in their chest, right? So it would be stupid for me to say, oh, oh, this is some sort of setup because they got footages, but it seems a little bit a production like. You guys understand what I'm saying? They seem to be some sort of production, like some sort of program. I don't know. I'm and it I don't like talking about like this because any anything you say where you're not crushing this guy, there's gonna be people that's going to jump. There's gonna be these morality warriors on the internet. And I've seen them. I've seen them today. Buck, you've been around. You probably you heard a few folks. Um, if you say anything, well, let's see. Let's look at more stuff. They're like, oh. So you don't think so you support this guy? That no, it's nothing like that. I think we should question everything, but in the process of questioning everything, you're gonna have people that's going to that's going to demonize you. They're gonna say that you support this guy or something like that.
salute to Peso Man, bro. What's going on, Peso Man?
hey, salute the Peso man. And let me just prefix by saying this, man. And I've been guilty of even ripping on the Peso Man a few years ago, and I kind of owed Peso Man an apology because I was also one of the past I don't want to even be part of that movement, but I was one of the guys that was also ripping on him. But Peso Man called this 4 years ago, and me and Payson, man, we go back more than everyone in this panel. When he was on Fifth Channel, he was calling this. I was disagreeing with him. I was saying, "Yo, you lame, this, that." I even call him, Sam Cassell and all that. I kind of owe Payson man apology right now. Payson man, I apology. I'll let you take the floor.
Well, can you guys hear me?
Loud and
Can you
clear,
hear
man.
me? All right, good, good.
We
Well,
copy you, copy.
apology is accepted because I'm not a cruel person, or anything like that. I'm a human being. But let me say this: me and Rico, we called this long time ago. We don't, we know we tried to dumb this down, but at the same time make it funny, so it could be palatable, because people do. This is YouTube. It is entertainment. It's also getting information, but it's also entertainment. People don't like to be you know, stuff to be boring. They want to laugh and giggle and stuff like that and have a good time. And I have no problem with that. So that's why we tried to make the show a little bit entertaining, and we roasted people. We made fun of people, but it was in no, we wasn't it wasn't mean spirited, but it was to try to get, the point home, but at the same time make it more palatable. And we never, and I think I can vouch for Rico on this, is that we never didn't want people to travel. We never did not want people to take their hard-earned money that they spend and go overseas, and you can do whatever two consenting adults do. We never had a problem with that. Not at all. And I think the issue is that a lot of people thought that we were trying to stop them from getting a nut. And that was never the case. What we were trying
Can I
to
ask
do
you a
is,
question, Peso?
oh, hold on, let me just finish.
Oh, go ahead. Hmm.
What we were trying to do is stop the nuts from getting into the community. And when you build a community, if there's no checks and balances, anybody can come into your community. When your house, when you don't have a padlock or a lock on your door, anybody can walk in. Anybody can walk in. And that's what happened. You guys movement was compromised. But not only was your movement compromised, you had the people at the top that were corrupt, and they wanted this movement to grow. They wanted this movement to have motion. So they just let anybody come into the movement that had a little bit of motion. But the people that were trying to warn you, the people that was at the front door trying to tell you that the building was about to burn down, or was at the front door telling you the feds was about to kick in the door. Y'all didn't want to hear that. Y'all was too busy in there partying, having a good time, doing lines of coke, smashing all the hookers that you wanted, just having a good time. But now the party is over. The party is over. The bartender, they closed up the bar. All the hookers, they didn't went home because they didn't got, no, they walking out the whorehouse bow legged.
Yeah, I think the party's over in certain countries, right? So like the Latin American countries, they're very tribal, and when they start seeing all of these Americans coming over, Europeans, things that were I guess on the down low, so to speak, right? Those things that were on the down low, they don't want that to come out in the open in these countries like Brazil or other countries as well, right? So what's happened is these guys are sitting there using social media to sit there and portray these countries as havens for prostitution and everything else. That stuff's available in Brazil and other countries, right? But
Facts.
that's not stuff they want out in the front. And and Latinos are no different than Africans or Asians or Arabs. They're very tribal. So when you have people from the outside coming into their lands and their tribe, right? In their area, all of a sudden it becomes a problem because now what you've done is you've shaken up what they had in place there for probably decades or even longer than that and brought it out in the forefront, the stuff that they want to hide. So now at the forefront of it, whoever is displaying this with this movement is saying, look, go to these countries for women, but they're not going there for the right reasons. They're not going there to get married or date these women. They're going there to exploit the lower class women in these countries that are poor. And that's what needs to be called out. So at the end of the day, what these countries have done is they're now standing their ground and saying, look, we don't want these people here that are bringing this nonsense, whether it's sexual exploitation of minors or even prostitution. Now they're at the forefront and they're not going to let it happen. This movement is not going to enter these countries because, once again, Latinos are no different than Arabs or Africans or Asians. They're not going to let it happen. They're not going to let them come in, outsiders, and try to portray their country a certain way and their people.
I
That's
agree,
just how
bro.
it
Facts.
Can
is.
can I
I
can I
agree.
can I respond
Let
to
me
that
say
real
something really
quick?
fast. Let
Can,
me give a thanks to 7050 Norton for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, and also the truth for the 199. Peso Man was right. Yeah, he was.
Facts. Yeah, I just want to
y-
let me revert back to Rod,
go ahead,
because
boss.
this is what something also Pace Man was saying a few years ago. Peso Man and Rico was saying the same thing. They were saying that this whole monitoring thing was supposed to kept on the down, on the low. It wasn't supposed to be putting out on the internet. And he pretty much said the same thing in Africa. It's like the same thing he was doing. He Everything was supposed to be kept up. But what Passport Bro start doing is they ruin it for themselves in terms of for views and clicks and profit. Yeah, if you go to Colombia and you go to Medellin and you get a million view video, yeah, that video is probably going to earn you 7,000. But well, you know what's gonna do? It's gonna make the block hot right now because now more viewers, more people gonna start looking at a video. They're gonna start coming to Medellin, and more people talking. And this is why Medellin today is the way it is right now. The Medellin is the way it is right now is because the block got so hot to the point that they're doing random checks on single man coming in and they just turning away guys just for having condoms. Go ahead, Mr. G.
Yeah, yeah, Peso. I wanted to and the brother that just talked. I'm not sure if you guys should call this thing a movement. I think it's just a lifestyle or just some people don't want to date here. They go on a date over there. And then sometimes when you guys are having these conversations, you guys like mixed up everything. The brother just said something regarding da da da, they go on there exploiting these women, blah blah blah. Blah. Sometimes the way you guys speak regarding these things is as if sex work doesn't exist here in the United States. 304 culture. If you go on TikTok right now, if somebody want to try it, they can try it. If the host want to try it, he can try it. Go on TikTok, type
You're not
304.
understanding. You're
No,
not understanding.
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm gonna say this. Type 304 on TikTok. You will see that there are women here in the United States. Your next door neighbor right now is probably doing this thing. There's nothing different. If some foreigners leave their country, they come here, they go on the internet, they find women for transaction, and they're doing transaction just like when we go over there, we do transaction. We can't say, "Oh my God, these foreigners, they're coming here exploiting the women." They've been
No,
doing that. We've been here doing that. We've been going to these strip clubs. We've been going to Backpage. We've been doing that here ourselves. Now, when
no.
it comes to the
The
minor
difference
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, but
is
He's
that
when
he's
it
a
no,
comes
hold
to
on,
perfect
when
the
it comes to the
difference
he's
is
a
minor
hold
perfect
thing,
on.
example.
I
yeah,
would say
when
there
it
He's
will
a
comes to
be
the
a
perfect.
minor
pushback.
thing, that's a
I
whole
would say there will
different.
be a
no,
pushback against Americans. You know, you don't understand. If say for example, if a bunch of Chinese, because China has the biggest population in the world, if a bunch of Chinese men come to the United States and they start tricking on the American woman, and this is by masses, right? You know what's gonna happen? There's gonna be a pushback from Americans. Like
so
the
so,
people
so the
don't
issue,
people don't want
But
to like
that's
his
already happening though. That's
yeah,
already
yeah,
it,
but
it
happening.
the
would
What
be
you're
a
but
talking
the
about,
issue,
pushback.
the issue
it's
is not
already
listen,
happening.
listen. The issue is not the transactions. You don't get it. They're using social
Yeah.
media to sit there and and to
Right, right.
expose what should be hidden. I'll give you an example.
I
If you go
agree. I
back,
agree.
yeah. So they're using social media. If you go back a couple of decades, right? You had military people. They weren't passport bros. They were just stationed in different countries, and then they would do their thing, but they wouldn't place it on the internet. So what's happened is, whatever is in on the down low should not be exposed. That's just how these countries are. Latin American culture is a shame
Facts.
guilt culture. Asian culture is a shame guilt. African, all of these cultures are shame guilt.
I
They
agree.
shame they
Some things in those cultures are not supposed to be in the front street like that.
they're Catholic. So if you know anything about Catholicism, there's certain things you cannot bring out in the open. Now, if it exists, what do? You know it's there, but what are you going to do about it? So for them, it's like you've sat there, and now what you've done is you've branded the whole
It's the
country as a damn.
promotion.
Well, no, you branded the whole place as a sex tourist country, and that's not the case. It's just in certain areas. I'll give you an example. Colombia, if you look at the numbers, all you have to do is Google it. A buddy of mine told me there's what 5,000 sex workers in the whole country of 50 million people. But all of a sudden, 50 million people, 5,000 are out in the forefront representing 50 million. That's a problem. See, most people don't know that. If you said, okay, the problem isn't the sex work, okay, great. Well, how many sex workers are in Colombia? 5, 6,000.
So why would the whole country of 50 million people all of a sudden be branded as damn every woman's a damn prostitute? So that's a problem because there's guys that are passport bros or even just foreigners who go to Colombia and walk up to any Colombian woman and say, "Hey, I'll give you $50." This happens all the time. So now the Colombians all of a sudden have said, "Hey, man, we don't want you in our country. You keep your $50. Get the hell out."
Yeah,
People
bro.
don't
When
realize
Pe-
that.
yeah,
It's
bro. I
Peso.
it's
went.
the image. It's the image thing. Here's the
Let me say
thing.
something. Let me
Here,
say something. I went on
go
a
ahead.
date with a Colombian girl last year, and she showed me her Tinder. She was showing me all the Americans offering her money for sex, and I was like, "Damn." I
Yeah,
was like, "Bro, it's damn, bro." I didn't
yeah.
realize
Pe-
it was that bad, but it's bad, guys.
Is it image
Peso.
thing?
Peso.
Even if prostitution is legal in these countries, they don't want this shit to be promoted. And Peso Man said this years ago, right? And him and Rico was cooking. And when I look back, yeah, this is right. It, even if this shit is legal, people basketball bros look at it and shit and be like, "Oh, this is legal." As long as legal, yeah. Even if it's legal, they just don't want it being promoted. And what they also don't want is like access amount of foreigners coming into the country, ramming through the women, in and out, without even contributing to the economy in a good way. When I say in a good way, I'm talking
Buck,
about investments and all that.
Buck, I think it's more so the internet, the promotion, and trying to put that on their country, trying to make that the faces of their country. I think that's more
Yes,
so. I think that's more
that's
so
what.
the problem because because again, if you don't, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But here in the United States, we've had Backpage. The government literally shut Backpage down. You know when they shut Backpage down? They should have. They might have as well just let Backpage be because now there's like a million back pages where you can get the same products, get to the exact same goal, you can get the exact same thing. So it's been happening here. It's happening here in the United States. But you don't have like let's say some Chinese making video. Yeah, when I go to America, when I go to Vegas, making the America the face of sex tourism. That's all the United States has to offer. From that point, I understand it. But I don't like the way some people, and this is why I wanted to ask Peso, because Peso, I supported your work. I liked your channel. I
You didn't
love what you
support
were
my work.
doing.
You didn't support my
But
work.
but
You
I
never
do think
donated.
let,
You never
let me
donated.
let no, I donated. I donated peso. You know what I did?
Yo,
I
Peso Man,
donated.
this is
I
why we
super
want
chatted
Peso
it.
Man
Dollars,
back.
I super chatted.
dollar
And
sign
I thank
hookers,
peso.
dollar sign hookers.
And I thank peso. Look, for a guy that like your work, I was frustrated with you. And that's the problem. I think low key, I don't know if you know that a lot of people voice that to you, is that there was, I don't know, because you did admit it earlier. You said something regarding the humor, you make it fun. There was something with the trolling. The trolling had this air of generality to it, where it was putting the jacket on everybody. And I think this is where your work started losing that worth that it had.
No, we called out names over here, buddy. We called out names. Talking about putting it on everybody. We called out names, and you are part of the community. If you don't want to distance yourself, I mean, if you want to distance yourself, you should have did that a long time ago. Because let me tell you something. BMT, Austin Diddy Holloman, Austin Diddy Holloman has blood on his hands.
Man, you crazy as hell,
Oh
man.
my god,
He has
bro.
blood on his hands.
Uh, Austin used to hang out with Floyd for how long? About 6 months.
Austin Diddy Holloman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's his new name. I don't want to hear nothing about no Austin Holloman. It's Austin Diddy Holloman.
You know, in
That's what it
2020,
is.
in 2026, the Paisas in Medellin, not just the Paisas, what they're doing now is they're going after Airbnb because that's what the guys are doing. They're using Airbnbs, right, to bring these women back and all kind of nonsense, these kids and whatever. So what they're doing is going after Airbnb for short-term rentals. They've done this before. I used to think it was just to protect the hotel industry. Now I think they're doing it because these guys are bringing these girls back to these our Airbnbs with no security. A lot of times that's what
But,
they do. They rent.
brother, you just alluded to it. And I'm not because you are. I think you are on the ground and you speak full Spanish. I've been
Yeah,
to Colombia. I am a guy who's building my family in DR. My situation is completely different than passport broism and whatnot. I understand what you're saying, but for some people who've been following the news in Colombia, what you just talk about the Airbnb situation, I think it's a little bit more economic and political than that.
yeah.
It's a little bit more complex. I wouldn't. I'm not saying what you're saying is not part of it. I'm
No,
not
no, I
saying it's
agree with
not.
you.
But
I
there is
agree
an
with you.
economic,
Yeah,
the hotel industry versus the Airbnb. There's also all that. Even the mayor, who's like family, is like a part of not mayor, but some oligarch candidate
they're
whose
they're trying to
family is
protect the whole
rich.
hotel industry. Yeah, they're trying to
Yes,
protect.
yes. So it's a little bit more complicated than that. So again, a lot of these things sometimes got a lot more nuance than the way they're framed.
Hundred
But
percent, but they're framing it like, well, the Airbnbs are used for this reason. I know years ago when the hotel industry lost 5% in revenue, what they did is they went after Airbnb and passed a law that says you cannot rent an Airbnb for less than 30 days, and they left that in place and they hit you with all these penalties and fees. Now they changed that and said you got to get registered and pay your taxes. Then you could rent your Airbnb for less than 30 days. Now what they're trying to do is saying, hey, look, it's these guys coming in with these Airbnbs, using that as a reason to go back, reverting to not renting for less than 30 days again, or whatever the amount of time is. They're using that as an excuse. I know that. I know the oligarchs run the show. It's that 1% or 1% in Colombia to run the economy. But yeah, no, you're correct on that. But they're using that as a reason that these guys are coming in, bringing these little kids and all kind of stuff to the Airbnbs. A lot of times it's the Airbnbs without security.
facts,
100%.
facts. Well,
Peso
one of the
Man.
things, that you guys when in this conversation, I don't think, and again, I guess we may not have the expertise to do it, but it would be nice when people are talking about just I mean, I think it's a tragedy, man. Obviously, tragedy for the victim, and obviously tragedy for this young man. Not that I'm having so much sympathy for him, but obviously it's bad for all sides. But people are not having this from a like a scientific perspective, right? And I've heard some people mention it a little bit of that. Like when you look at him, the way he is, da da da, blah blah blah. Because Austin talk about something about him being autistic, maybe da 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 blah blah blah. I think he's autistic, and I think it will explain it very well because autistic people, again, I don't want to be judgmental and too general because all autism are not the same. But autism people don't know that they don't know social cues. Sometimes they
We
don't they
tired
don't
of you
really have
being an
that.
apologist, Mr. G. We tired
I'm
of you
not being
being
an
a
I'm not being
you are being you have always been one. You have always been one. And
I'm not
now,
being an
no,
apologist.
you can't run and hide no more because you got a little baby all on you too.
We got to chop these heads off. Peso Man.
You got a little baby all on you too.
Peso Man. Welcome back. We need you
Thank
back
you.
because I'm tired. I had to take on the clothes of the Dark Lord, Darth Sidious, and chop some of these niggas' heads off. We need you to come back, Peso Man. You got a platform on the Gangster Lifestyle channel.
Make that happen, Peso Man. We either need
Yeah,
to travel back.
like I said, when I was there, you guys beat me down, you drugged me, you made fun of me, you put hits out on me. I was in Africa. Where you at, Big Tigger? You put a hit out on me. You tried to set me up with some hookers to have me murdered.
And Peso
You
Man.
remember that? You remember that, Big Tigger? I know you out there listening somewhere. You tried to
Oh yeah,
set
yeah.
me up. You
Big
you
Tez,
sold
Big
your
Tez.
soul
Yeah,
for Big Tez or whatever his name is. You sold your soul for a jelly roll and tried to set me up.
yeah. That
Tried to
was
set
backstab, Mister.
tried to set me up. I mean, this how bad these guys wanted to take me out because I was over there. I was only trying to help you. See, if Floyd would have listened to me, Floyd wouldn't be in this trouble. Let me tell you guys something. Floyd never ever Floyd never came to my channel. Think about it for a second. I'm gonna let this sit in for you guys. All the people that didn't come to my channel, those are the people you need to be looking out for. Those are the people you need to be looking side eye at. And guess who those people are? Floyd, Razor Rays, Jay Rello, Austin Holloman. Oh yeah, them guys.
But hold on, Buck.
You need to be looking. You need to be looking at those guys side eyed
But hold on,
because
Peso. Hold on.
in BMT. Yeah, I can go down the list,
Hold on,
but now
Peso.
they all running. Hold on, I just said this. They all jumping off the boat like rats on the Titanic now.
Hold on, Peso. Hey, Buck, you got a little ditty all on you too. I saw you over there on NYC, the Future Channel, glazing.
I was just trolling, bro. That was me just trolling. I mean, that's nothing to take
You
seriously
was
about.
putting heavy, you
I
was
was
putting heavy glaze on the donut.
that was me just trolling. You know how I feel about the crash outs, man. But here's the thing I would say. Here's the thing I would say in regards to Pacer, man. And I said this in the panel, like, and I owe Pacer Man an apology because I was one of the few that was making fun of Pacer Man, calling all Pacer Man all kind of names, called him Sam Cassell, Alien, whatever, ET, all them names. And I'm on the panel with him right now, right? And I'm gonna say apology right now. I apologize, Pacer Man.
And Buck, why was that? That's
I was
what
ignorant
what
at the
what
time.
was that? Because I feel like
Hear me out. Hear
Peso
me out.
got in his
Hear me
own
out.
way.
Hear me out. I was ignorant at the time because I buy into the narrative that BMT and some of these other guys fed me. They fed me that this Pacer Man is this bad character who was trying to ruin the movement, who was trying to ruin the vibe. And at the time, I was kind of ignorant. You see what I'm saying? But now, as the more it start making sense, the more I kind of think about what Pacer Man was saying, and I'm like, whoa, okay, maybe he was right.
I said it when Peso
Where
Man was
where where
around.
you know,
I
I
said
just hope
he's
if you
not.
come back, the whole getting personal thing, I feel like sometimes, that can kind of distract you from your goal and your work. I think Peso kind of end up getting into that, and then people start beefing on some personal shit instead of just like doing his work, just doing his work. Because sometimes he like, because I remember like, what's his name, Big J. Peso got in the beef with a whole lot of people. And Peso, I'm not trying to say like you're the devil or whatnot, but what I'm saying is it's like I'm frustrating with you because I feel like you got in your way of your work that you could have been doing.
Listen, sometimes Peso was the evil that was needed. You know what I'm saying? You have to have balance. Now, Peso gone, right? And look at what we got. We got Jay Rello that ran buck wild over in Africa, right? We got this dude Floyd. Good for him. I hope he gets thrown under the jail. And then whatever else is gonna go wrong. Know what I'm saying?
The
So
pa-
Peso is the evil that's needed in the space.
the thing is, Peso Man left at the wrong time because this is when all the fuckery start coming up, and excuse my language, all the messery shit start coming up in the travel space. As soon as he left, it was all kind of because like when he was in the space, it was like a lot of guys was like he was kind of like the guy that kept things in order, right? It's like a lot of guys was like, nah, I'm not gonna release this video because Peso Man is gonna do a video on me. I gotta get my shit. But once he left, dude started behaving wow. It's like Peso Man, it's like it seems like Peso Man was like the dude that people were afraid of. And it's like when he left, people was just it was all kind of wild stories that was just coming up in the travel space. And that's why it's like we need resurgence of Peso Man. I don't Peso Man used to get a channel back. I don't know. It's like whatever. I'm gonna donate. And I'm being honest with you. It's like this time I will
Well,
donate.
but
I will hold on.
but
I'm talking to Peso Man. I will donate this time. I know in the past I didn't donate because I was one of the few ignorant motherfuckers that was buying into that whole passport bro narrative. But now I'm gonna donate because you're some of the narrative you were saying back in the days. It's starting to make sense right now.
Well, let me ask Peso a quick question. Peso, did you apply to get your channel back when YouTube gave all these other dudes a channel back? Because Obsidian got his back, Tommy Sotomayor got his back. Did you apply to get yours back?
Yeah, my channels were never my channels were deleted because somebody lied and tried to put me in legal action. The only reason why I haven't came back because I'm starting businesses. I got other stuff that I'm doing now, and YouTube was really consuming my life and my relationships with my girlfriends and the whole 9 yards. I spent a lot of time trying to tell you guys. I should have never even been on YouTube to be totally honest with you. Um, I wasted a lot of money, ran through a lot of money, whole 9 yards. Goofing off with these guys, and I got tired of. I got burnt out and I needed to do something else, and and pretty much that's what I'm doing now. Um, and yes, I left the space, and everybody went buck wild, like Buck was saying that people's there was balance. I kept balance. I kept the force in order. Yes, I was a necessary evil because I had to bring reality to the space, you know, because like I said once before, when you have a community and there's no guardrails or there's no checks and balances, people as human beings will do anything. There's a free fall. There's a free fall in the passport bro space. There was a free fall. And these guys, once again, the BMTs and all these guys, they wanted motion. So they endorsed people like Jay Rello, this guy Floyd and all this other stuff. And that's what they get. They got Diddy oil all on their hands. All
Hmm.
on their hands. And this is what's gonna happen. See, let's talk about reality right now, if I may. Let's talk about reality. And guess what? Floyd, there's a ticking clock on Floyd. Floyd, Floyd is in a death pool right now. I give Floyd a maximum of 36 months before he's dead because Floyd is not gonna make it out. Floyd is not gonna make it if he's guilty, and I hope the brother's not. I hope they're framing the brother. I hope they're framing the brother, and I hope what they were saying about the brother is not true. But if it is true, and they prosecute him and they convict him, he's a dead man. He's a dead man. And guess what? All you guys, all you guys that were out there that was bigging him up, that was giving him funds to go on all these trips, all the super chats you was giving him and you weren't giving to the peso man, all them super chats you was giving him and not me, you pretty much gave him a death sentence. You
right,
might as well
right.
been the one. You might as well been the one. You might as well been the one with the knife to slit his throat. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Austin Holloman. Yeah, I'm talking about you, BMT. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Razor the Rat. I know you're listening.
Let me shout out to
Yeah.
Neon Shades for the $2. Big Gains gave money to Future and Met Relo and Sasua.
Dang.
And here's the thing though. I think, when it comes to donation and point, I've super chatted Floyd because I wanted to make joke and crack jokes and roast him, right? Troll him at times. And I guess directly and indirectly, many of us we sort of ended up. supporting these guys. And I guess 2026, it should be that in the community, if a person cannot finance themselves to travel, don't. And again, it's hard to do. It's hard to even say that. And that's the whole thing, even with peso. Yeah, peso. People were scared because of the shame. They don't want their names out there. But peso couldn't actually enforce anything, and then shut. He didn't have that kind of power because it's the internet. It's hard to really stop anybody, from going on the internet. You don't have, unless they take down your channel. They can always take you down your channel, but people can always open different channels and things like that. Look at Jarello. Look how many times they took down his channel. But I just hope that people will learn their lesson, because yeah, you may be wanting to see a crash out. You're donating to these guys, but at the same time, you're messing things up for yourself if you travel too, because it's only going to give us a bad name out there.
Daria says, "What's going to happen to Skylar who pays in Rio?" I don't know, dude. Like, um, does Skylar promote that shit? Yeah, he does, right?
Yeah, he promotes it. Skylar promotes the P for P, and I honestly think he's being looked at by Brazilian government. I honestly think they just waiting at the right time, but I think they're looking at him. And when you look at his videos, he promotes. He says he does P for P. He's very open about it. I just think that he's kind of being looked at right now. It's just that they're finding him with they're trying to get that right case on him.
What you guys
But
got to realize, what you guys got to realize is that, see, everything is about to come. All the dominoes are lining up. See, this is the worst outcome. This is the worst thing that could have happened to the passport bro movement. I mean, this is absolute. This is the death pill. This is the poison pill. This is the worst thing that could have happened to these guys because now they have a face. Now they have a pretext to go after the passport bros because now they can label you guys as coming over, even if you're not. Even you could be coming over to sleep with women in the old folks' home. Your thing could be granny coochie. But now they're gonna label all you guys coming over to to harm their kids, to harm their little babies.
It's already
Who's
happening.
who's who's
is
the
is
all
is
you
is
guys
is is,
though?
is
Who
already
who's
It's
the
happening?
all
already
you guys?
happening.
Well, it's
It's
already
already
happening in
happened in
Medellin,
Colombia.
Colombia, Peso Man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's.
If
Have
you
you
go to
been
the
heard
airport,
about what Medellin, Colombia was been happening? They literally got signs that saying no, no, what is it, sex tourism, and they also have no kids in Spanish, something like
yeah,
that,
not
in the
not only that, but
Airbnbs.
They got a
yeah, not
big
only
ass
that,
sign in the Medellin airport
yeah,
with a
yeah, and then
grown
they got
man
They have it
holding
on.
the
They
hand
have
of a
it at
little
the bus
kid.
stops as well. Like all the bus stops have the signs in English. You're like, damn.
they got a few
Yeah,
things that
yeah,
And
they
at the
yeah.
can.
But
Airbnbs,
Gens, you were still able to travel to Colombia recently. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
I understand what people are saying. Yeah, they're going to be looking at people. But when you say that you guys or whatever, blah, 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 there are black people or black men that that don't even follow like travel. They don't even know any of these channels. Sometimes
right, right.
I mean, I don't know about you guys.
Hey,
When you
hey,
guys are at the
hey,
airport,
y'all
you
need to
run
watch
into
Mr. G. Y'all need to
no, no,
watch
no, no,
Mr. G.
no. Listen, no, no,
Mr. G.
no.
Mr. G. Mr. G.
yeah.
Put the baby oil down, man. Put the baby oil down.
Nah, 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 bro.
Put the baby
I'm a
oil
whole.
down.
Nah, 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 nah.
Put the
Listen.
baby
No,
oil
I see
down.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm a whole fam. Bro. I'm a whole family guy, bro. Let me tell you something, though. I'm just saying that there are brothers that are still travel to these places. When you say, "Oh, they're looking at them," blah, 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 yes, there's more scrutiny, but there are people when you meet them when you go to these places, and Gens can tell you that anybody who really travel will tell you that. You talk to them, they don't know any of these YouTube channels exist. And
They
the
Yeah,
black
yeah,
don't.
men
but
you
that
meet,
They
a
don't.
lot of
correct.
people.
Yeah, but that's correct. But that's not how they see it. See, it goes back to what I said earlier. You guys, first of all, Paisa, like Medellin, there's only like 5 million people in Colombia out of 50 million that are Paisas. There's not a lot. Automatically, like, they know they're not a lot of people. 5 million people, 2 million in Medellin. Period. Paisas. There's another 3 million outside of Medellin. Problem is, it's not. It's a city with 2 million people, but they talk among each other. And the issue now that exists is they're talking about who's coming and causing the chaos. It's always happened. It's always existed, but now it's a lot more in the forefront because they're talking about it more than
Whether
they
they
did
just
before.
naturally a sicko
Say that again.
or they was tampered when they were just a child.
My man,
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
you
I
got
was
something playing in the background.
no,
You got to turn off
actually,
something.
I didn't know I was getting in. Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Your mic is kind of low. But go ahead. Who's Rod? Go ahead.
No, you know what I was gonna say is what's gonna happen is right now there's no visa required to go to Medellin. They might start implementing. You know it's gonna be a problem if they say, you know what, from now on, just like Brazil, you got to apply for a visa. Brazil can deny your visa or they can cancel your visa, like with Skyler, for example. If they cancel his visa, if that does happen, I'm not wishing it on him. You know, all of a sudden they're going to start making be more. They're going to scrutinize a lot more people, and unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, they may just target certain ethnicities. They may say, okay, you're from the States, but what's your religion? What's your background? What's your ethnicity? If that happens, then you know obviously they're going after, let's say, the passport bro movement because of whatever reason. I'm not saying that happens, but I applied for a visa to Vietnam, for example. You know what they asked me in the application? What's your religion? So obviously, religion is a big deal in Vietnam. Certain religions are not able to get a visa to Vietnam. They may do that in some of these countries. Again, they're tribal. You guys got to start thinking like them. That's just how they roll. If you're gonna come in there causing chaos, they're gonna look at it and say, okay, we understand we got certain things on the DL, but you guys are causing too much problems for us. And they're going to say you're promoting it online. Not only are you causing the problems, but promoting it. These other groups are causing problems, but they're not promoting it. That's the difference.
And
Yeah.
but guess what's getting ready to happen in Colombia? And I just heard this today as the Floyd news. If the Floyd news broke this morning, I was listening to another channel, and he wasn't even talking about Floyd or anything like that. But he was talking about what's going on in Colombia, right? So what's getting ready to happen? You notice how they scrutinizing everybody in the Medellin airport, going through your luggage, checking your phones and shit like that, right? So a lot of dudes think to circumvent that, let me fly through Bogota. No, no, no. They getting ready to crack down on all international airports in the country of Colombia. So that goes for Bogota, that goes for Cartagena, that goes for Cali, and any other, because this is what they was doing. They was coming in, flying in through Bogota, then catching another flight from Bogota to Medellin. So they go through customs in Bogota. That way, when they get to Medellin, they're not facing that scrutiny because they just flying as a domestic. But no, now they getting ready to crack down on all the international airports in Colombia.
Yeah, and another thing that's happening, I don't know if Peso Man be keeping in track of what's going on in Medellin, but they've been singling out single men. And and I think 2026, this is gonna happen on a much deeper level, on a much more frequency. What they're gonna look at is they're gonna look at couples, they're gonna ignore them, then they're gonna start seeing single man, single foreign man. They're not even gonna look at the Colombian man, Colombian American man, or the Colombian UK citizen man who's coming from the UK. What they're gonna look at is a single man, and they're gonna do these random checks. So out of 10 single men, for every 10, they're probably gonna check like, because they can't check all of them. It's gonna be a whole waste of time. What they're gonna do is like, I mean, they're already doing this. They're gonna check one randomized out of them 10. Then they're gonna start checking the suitcase and all that. I was in Colombia this summer. I got through quickly. Nothing like major like happened. Like it was just a smooth process. But I think this is gonna be happening on a much deeper level. 2025, I think this year, Colombia received the most tourists out of all the years combined, all the years prior. So they're breaking a record, but they're also being restrictive on certain things. And obviously, with this whole Trump thing and the U.S. government thing, with what's going on, that doesn't help the case too with Americans. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't help the case. They're going to be more. It's not helping the case with Trump and Venezuela and the political issues. What's going on? That's not helping the case with Americans. So I think that's what's going to happen. I said this many times. Yeah, prostitution is legal in these countries, but they just don't want it being promoted. As simple as that. Is this there's no like complex stuff to it. Even the Thailand, Pattaya, Thailand, out of all places, they're cracking down on this. And Thailand is supposed to be the biggest P4P place in the world. Even Thailand is coming down on this. They're making changes. They're now coming after the visas, where it used to be like you used to have a 90-day visa. Now you get a 30-day visa. So, and Brazil is doing certain things. They want you to have like certain funds, like $2,000
Oh,
minimum funds.
Brazil is really gonna crack down now after this nonsense.
I mean, depending on how big it gets, like I said, Brazil. Here's the thing: Brazil is people don't realize Brazil is so big. It's it's pretty much like the United States, and they got bigger things going on in their country right now. There's a lot of corruption issues. Um, there's a lot of things that's not being talked about. But if this Floyd thing pops up in the news, in the Brazilian news, and they share it, I think they'll make a change. But right now, they got bigger fish to fry in Brazil.
I mean, it's gonna pop up, man. Like if Austin, if the situation with Austin made the news, like this is gonna make the news.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Austin was able to come back and he stayed a few months afterwards, right? Didn't he? Yeah, I saw Austin personally at Allowance Exchange. Him and oh, you know who I wanted to talk about? I think Redbeard too. Like I think maybe he might get into some shit too because he promotes it a lot too.
Oh, I think that guy might be. I think they might catch that guy with a promotion
But he's not
of.
promoting prostitution though. He just uses like an algorithm for dating. He's dating what he says from what I've seen. He's just dating regular girls.
But have you seen what he's implying though? If you look at his videos, he's saying that Brazilian and Colombian women are easier than American women.
But I
Isn't
mean,
is isn't
a,
that what Asta Hahnemann got in trouble for in Brazil?
a part of it is a part of it too is just like marketing, like it kind of like a thumbnail. You know what I mean? Just to grab an audience. You know what I mean? Not that I'm defending him, but yeah, a lot of what he says is just to because he's also like a coach, so that's part of his business. You know what I mean? So if he says that, then men are gonna be like, oh, let me sign up for his program because women down there are easier. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
um,
Peso, what you think about Scholar the ruling? You think they gonna get him out of Rio?
Now, with Scholar, one master teacher. That's right. That's the guy, right? One master teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He used to have his
they
name.
gonna
He's changed it.
yeah, yeah, one master teacher. Oh, I think he gonna stay down there, and they gonna eventually diddy him because that's what he's doing. He's nothing but a light skinned diddy. That's all he is. He's a light skinned diddy, and eventually they gonna diddy him. They gonna give him the Brazilian diddy because that's what he's doing over there. He diddying, he over there diddying, and eventually, like I said once before, is that is that there's prostitution everywhere. There's not one country where there's not at least one woman selling herself to another man for some money. It's the oldest profession, as they would call it in the world. We all know that. But nobody, let me just say this. If your mama or your daughter, or we're gonna say for all these guys because we're talking about children now, but we're gonna say you are a father Say you were a father, and say your daughter was the neighborhood whore. You knew she was a neighborhood whore. Everybody knows that she was a neighborhood whore. But then all of a sudden, everybody starts advertising and starts talking about your daughter being a neighborhood whore. You're gonna feel a certain way because now everybody knows it, and that's gonna bring shame upon your family. And that's the same thing that happens when these guys out here advertising. They're bringing shame upon these countries. Everybody knows they're out here selling a little yin yang. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that they slide money under the table. Everybody knows that it's a little bitty. There's a little baby all being sprinkled on the bed at night. Everybody knows that. But when you get the megaphone and you start blasting, and you start screaming to the top of your lungs, letting everybody knows what's going on, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems. And you got one now, Passport Bros. You got a big problem. Because let me tell you something. Me and Rico, we coming back. And we're gonna bring up the Floyd files. Just like the Epstein files. Yeah, we're gonna bring up we're gonna open up the Floyd files. And there's a lot of people in those those so-called Floyd files. Yeah, with you hooked up with them, with you hanging out with them, with you platforming them, with you sending them money, sending them super chats and all that other stuff. You're just as guilty. You you just as guilty as Floyd. And let me say this. See, y'all don't be listening. But see, somebody said Floyd was messing with a 6-year-old girl, right? If I stand corrected, right? She was 6 years old, right?
Yeah.
That's what
That's
they
that,
said,
that's
right?
a that's a rumor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rumor. But because you know what else? You know who else was 6 years old doing freaky things? You know who else? You know who else was at the age of 6 that was doing freaky things? Austin
Austin.
Holloman. Austin Holloman. He was watching porn at 6 years old. You remember that? So they the 666 gang walking around here. So you need to start looking at Austin Holloman because see that's the tip. See that's the key tip. It just so happened that Floyd was messing with a 6-year old, but yet Austin Holloman was getting jiggy at 6 years old. Y'all need to start watching these people. Y'all need to start watching. Y'all was over there cheering. Think about all the money, all of them that we just gonna put Razor Rays, Floyd, Austin Holloman, and Jay Rello. We ain't gonna even talk about NYC, the future, and all them other clowns, these new clowns that they came up in the game.
Peso. I want to get your take on him.
Oh, I've been away from the game. Since I left. I don't watch Passport Bro stuff. I don't watch none of this stuff. I don't even. My mind. I have other things that I'm trying to work on. However, when we come back, oh he and I. We got him lined up.
Hey,
He
Peso, this
we got
M,
him.
this
We got
M.
him lined. We got him. No stone will be unturned.
Hey,
And
We
he,
Peso,
coming
this.
back. The
Hey,
Passport Bro Police. We are the
what
Passport Bro Police.
what's the potential channel? Because we just want to just in case, like, because we don't want to wait
It,
for
it's
the
co- it's
algorithm.
coming. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Give me about a couple. Give me a few days. I gotta get everything. I gotta get all the paperwork and stuff. We coming back. We coming back bigger and better than ever. We gonna have music, theme music. We coming back bigger and better.
hey, Peso, man, this M. I'm gonna call you later on. No homo. I'm gonna call you later on this week. I gotta ask you some questions.
We coming back bigger and better. And we gonna take on everybody. And let me tell you something, Razor Rays. I'm gonna be in, I'm gonna be in the DR in a few months. Oh yeah, BMT. I'm gonna be in the DR in a few months, and I'm pulling up. See, we pulling up with cameras too. Somebody said, I think it was M. I'm not. I'm sorry. I think it was Mr. G talking about, oh, Peso Man can't do nothing. But you know what? We taking it to the next level. We gonna start pulling up on people now.
What's the name of the
We gonna
channel,
start.
Peso Man?
We gonna start pulling up on people now. Oh
What's
yeah,
the
we
name
gonna
of the
start
channel?
pulling up. We gonna start pulling up on. You gonna find out the channel. If you just hold on. Just hold your horses.
Oh,
Just
okay,
hold your
I
horses. We gonna get everything. Let me and Rico. Let us organize first. See, we weren't gonna come back, but see, this thing got way out of hand. It's got
can,
way out of hand.
can we still visit Brazil, or is it too hot right now?
Personally, I don't care what you do. Personally, I mean, move in silence. That's what you should have been doing from the get go. Move in silence.
Eh,
You should have
eh,
been
eh,
moving in silence from the get go. Not out here, all up in the videos, dancing, all up in the videos.
So that means
You know,
YouTubers can't be showing chicks on their channels no more if they don't want to get um, flagged
unless
or
you're doing a
anything.
reality show, unless you're doing some type of reality show, you don't need to have all the hookers all up in your videos like Skylar.
Everybody has a Patreon now. That's the big thing. They just put it on the Patreon.
Yeah,
Well,
Skylar
put
got
it
his
on
own
page.
private channel.
Well, put it on Patreon. I mean, do what you want to do. But like I said once before, these guys they're promoting this, but what they fail to realize is that they're opening the door for. Because think about it for a second. You got a video that got 75,000 views. That's 75,000 people watching your video. You don't think even if it's 1%, 1% is what? What 75, 750? No, yeah. This is 750. 1% should be 750. 750 people. It could be 1% of those guys that could be bad guys. That means you got 750 people that have watched your video. 750 bad guys. That's a lot of bad guys. And y'all let Floyd come into y'all space. You let Floyd come into your space. Where were you at, BMT? You were supposed to be at the door, guarding, guarding the passport bro on Kingdom. You let him walk straight through the door.
Do they still got the
Pat,
Passport Bro
pat
app?
him, pat him on his head, pat him on his little head, and slid him some baby oil,
Yeah.
Do, do they still
and
got
let
the
him walk through
Passport
the
Bro app?
door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got the
yeah,
app.
you got the passport, bro. Which is gonna be? I told you a long time ago. That's gonna be a RICO case. You don't think the Brazilian government is looking at that passport, bro, app now? You don't think the American government, State Department is not looking at that app right now? You don't think the Colombian government is not looking at that app right now? Because he can't control who goes on that app. The first thing he gonna say is that well, we didn't know that they had. You don't think? Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd wasn't part of the app. So all you guys that are on that app, you better get off of. I told you 2 years ago. Matter of fact, I told you 3 years ago not to get on that app
You did. You said that. Yeah.
Yeah, you
because
said that. I
they got
remember.
all that data. Google and his service provider stuff. They gonna keep all that data. They gonna keep all that data.
Is it
And
safe
let
to
me
go
tell
to
you something.
Africa? Is it safe to go to Africa?
You can go wherever you want to go.
Nah,
Just
nah,
moving,
nah.
just
Jay
moving
Rello done mucked
silence.
it up over in Kenya.
I'm talking
Just
about South
moving
Africa.
silence.
I'm talking
I'm
about
talking
South
about
Africa.
move. And let me tell you something. Ain't no place really messed up if you go there and you move in silence. Don't bring no heat on you. Do not bring any heat on you. Go
But
wherever
what
you
if
want to go, but
but
don't
what if you
bring
want
no
to
heat
create a
on you.
YouTube channel? What if you want to create a YouTube channel?
All that stuff is. Let me tell you something. Create one at your own risk. Create one at your own risk, or start your reality show. But like I said once before, you got to understand something. I think Rob said it perfectly. These countries are tribal. See, you don't see in America, you just don't know how good you got it. So it's a free for all here. A lot of the stuff we get away with in this country, you wouldn't dare be able to get away with it in other countries. You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare to get away. You can get away with it. So I think a lot of times when we go to these other countries, and I think we've all been guilty of it, including myself. We go to these countries and we feel entitled. We feel like certain things should be done the American way. But you got to realize you're in a different, when you step into another country, you're stepping into a different world, different rules, different ball game. The players are different, the jerseys are different, the rules are different, everything is different. You have to understand that. And a lot of us don't. When you go to these countries, you are putting your life on the line. So you got to realize that. And you see what happened. Floyd went to another country thinking that he probably could have. See, this is the crazy thing about Floyd that y'all don't understand. See, you got to ask yourself this question. He wasn't even a smart pedophile. He was a dumb one. Because let me just say this. Who in the world would allow a 7-year-old girl to get into an Uber to drive to a location? Because first thing you got to realize is that when the kid get in the car, the Uber driver is going to want to know, why is the kid getting in my car? Why is this child getting into my car? It's not like a grown woman get into a car. You get into an Uber, then you drive to a location, you get out. You got somebody coming. You got somebody walking in your car, got on a diaper and a pacifier in their mouth, talking about take me to the Jaguar Hotel. I got a hot date tonight. You got a person getting in the car with a diaper on, with a Huggies diaper and a pacifier in a bottle of Infamil in her hand with a straw, talking about take me to the Jaguar Hotel. I got a hot date tonight with an American named Floyd. You don't think the Uber driver gonna drop a dime on him? You don't think somebody gonna report him? And he's doing it over and over and over and over again. But he was bound to get caught. I'm surprised it took him this long for him to catch him. Tell the Brazilian government probably was slipping. They probably say, okay, we'll give him a couple. We'll give him a couple passes. And he kept doing it and he kept doing it. They said, hey, forget this. We're gonna have to put this nigga in jail. So for
That's what
all
they
you
do,
guys out
Peso.
there,
That's Peso. That's what they do. They let you slide while they building their case. Then when they come for you, they got a stack of evidence from the floor to the ceiling that you can't get out of.
yeah. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Floyd, because I know you probably listening from a Brazilian jail. This ain't Nebraska, nigga. This ain't Nebraska. This ain't Nebraska. This is Brazil, where they real, where your ass going to jail. for trying to get a cheap thrill. And you gonna get killed. They gonna murk him. Like I said once before, he got 36 months. I should be surprised if he lasts 36 months. Because gangs run those prisons. Gangs run those prisons. And we know Floyd, he's soft. He's softer than a marshmallow in goddamn Hawaii. I'm sorry, a marshmallow in Arizona. Softer than a marshmallow in Arizona. So you know they're gonna extort him. They're gonna pass him around for a few months. Gonna have the nigga butt naked, washing people clothes, washing people drawers. And then when they finish playing with him, they're gonna take him out. You can't go to nobody's country. He would have been better off doing it here. You can't go to nobody. Think about it. You going to another man's country and messing with his children. You going to another man's country messing with his babies. What you think he gonna do to you? And I blame you, Austin Holliman. We blame you because you the one that introduced everybody to Floyd. You introduced the world. I mean, Floyd. You was Floyd's main cheerleader. I mean, you got terabytes of footage of content with him. So we don't want to hear none of your excuses talking about Floyd is a despicable person. You knew he was this, you knew he was that. So if you did, why did you platform him? Why did you have him on your channel? Why was you traveling from country to country with him? Why was you staying in the same hotel with him? What was y'all doing in those hotels late at night together? What were y'all doing? Were y'all plotting? Were y'all making little teddy bears so y'all can give them to the little kids? What were you doing, Austin Holloman? Tell me. We want to know. The general public wants to know what were you and Floyd doing all those late nights in those hotels? What were y'all doing? What were y'all plotting to do? Tell us. What were you plotting to do? But and let me say this: if you notice, when Austin Holloman did his escape from Brazil, he did the same. He had the same playbook as Floyd. He did his dirt in region Rio, and then he tried to make his escape from San Pablo. See, Austin got a tip. He got a quicker tip, so he was able to escape. So they wasn't able to nab Austin Holloman and give him that perk walk. They weren't able to give him the perk walk, but they gave Floyd the perk walk and they nabbed him. That's all I gotta say.
Yo, can everybody hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
All right. Hey, what's up, chat or panel? What's up? I had a question for Buck. Buck, you was in Future Live earlier saying all that stuff. Was it true or what were you doing over there? I'm starting to think that you the police. How long have you been here? Is Buck there?
Buck ain't the police. Buck been around.
Oh, he been around because he
He,
did all that stuff in future stuff, then came here. Like I don't understand it. He moving like the police.
my man, this ain't the panel for you to glaze on future over here. We
Nah,
got
it ain't.
Peso Man. We
It
got
ain't.
Peso Man up in here.
It ain't about glazing. It's about the right or wrong. What was all that stuff he was doing earlier? It was weird. He went on future panel saying all that good stuff. Then came over.
I asked him about it already, and he said he was trolling.
Oh yeah, I was trying to ask him, see what he was doing. It was weird.
Buck, speak up for yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, I was trolling, but here's the thing. I wish I was part of the FBI team so I can get a lot of Floyd's. Because here's the thing. There's a there's about like I would say in this whole travel space, there's like a 10 other Floyds who's doing the same thing. I wish I was in the FBI catching these dudes and getting them out of here. But I'm not the police.
Well, it's a time and a place for everything, man.
Well, Peso Man, so when you bring your channel back up, you think they're gonna be hating on you again? They're gonna try to delete your shit again? Let's see.
Well, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have a Patreon. So we're gonna do lives, and once we complete our live, if you haven't watched the live, you're gonna have to go over to the Patreon and watch it. Do lives, and once we complete our live, if you haven't watched the live, you have to go over to the Patreon. So that's what we're gonna do. Because of course there's gonna be haters. There's gonna be all these. See. This is the deal that y'all should understand. That y'all should have picked up on. All the people that hate on me, those are the ones you should be looking side-eyed at. Those are the ones you should be looking side-eyed at. Like I said once before, all the guys that didn't come on the panel, because we asked Floyd to come on the panel because we wanted to question him. He would never come. Also, when we got on panels, when Floyd was on the panel and I got on the panel, Floyd immediately got off. See, that says a lot. That says a lot. See, the guys out here that's apologizing, they got all the baby oil on them. The guys out here that's going crazy since I've been gone, you know. And like I said once before, we're gonna go hard on J Rello. We're gonna go real, real hard on Rello because for the life of me, I can't understand because Rello, in my opinion, he just as bad as Floyd. He just as bad as Floyd. Because I cannot understand why you guys give a rapist, because he is a rapist, in my opinion. I don't care if he wasn't, he didn't put his wee wee inside the woman, but he created the environment for the rape. And then he shows you, he double downs on it and shows you through his actions, through his videos, how he be smacking women around, dragging them, and so forth. He don't have respect for women.
Peso, you got a window open.
No, no, it's not Peso Man. It's this Eric guy. Eric guy that
Yeah,
got a
somebody.
window open.
Yeah, somebody need to close they. Somebody need to mute their.
Eric, can
Somebody
you
need
mute
to mute.
yourself? I think yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, somebody need to mute themselves. But you can't. You know, the man doesn't have any respect for women, and y'all let this guy. There would be something different if the man was paying his own way to go on these trips. You know, but you are sponsoring this terrorist because that's what he is. He's a terrorist. You're sponsoring these guys. So I don't know. I don't know if these guys are sponsoring these guys to bring down the passport bro movement. Now you want to talk about the police. Now those are the people that double agents or whatever you want to call them. Guys that are giving him money so he can destroy your movement, destroy the brand, or whatever, or make all travelers look bad. Who does that? That's sick. That somebody would give somebody some money to go out. It's pretty much terrorism. They're sponsoring terrorists. They're sponsoring the terrorists. They're
So you're
giving
gonna
him
call it the
money.
you're gonna call it the Austin Files now?
Can I
No,
can
the
I ask a
Floyd
question?
files. The
Can I ask
Floyd
a question?
files, just like the Epstein files. It's called the Floyd files.
But can I ask the question? You guys think that everybody that was kicking it with Epstein knew what Epstein was doing?
No, not everybody. Not
Because
everybody.
he was the number
First of
one
all,
person in
first of all,
Hollywood.
it's impossible. First of all, it's impossible if you're throwing parties. Now, Epstein, you got to understand something. Epstein had several. There was several. How can I say several parts to Epstein? Several parts. But we're talking about the part where he was doing all the parties, throwing all the parties, and all that other stuff.
Yes,
We're
but
talking
you
about
notice
that.
that nobody even want to act like they knew him. It's like me personally, I've been to a Diddy party in real life. That don't mean I was there doing whatever else happening because I'm from LA. I went to an all white Diddy party, and Diddy have some of
So
the
so so we not talking about, first of all, a Diddy party.
uh-huh.
A Diddy party is pretty much a joke. When we're talking about Diddy parties, when they're talking about Diddy parties, they're actually talking about the jump offs, the freak offs rather. They're not talking about necessarily the Diddy party because first of all, if Diddy's hosting a party, it's impossible for everybody there to be. There's no orgy like that.
Of
Nobody's
course,
having an orgy with,
of
with a
course,
bunch of people at a nightclub.
of course. That's what I'm
So so I
saying.
I, I think people that have common sense would understand that. They use that as a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
but
pretty
you
but
much
you
a
notice
talking
joke.
how
about the real
everybody
party was what happened after two a.m.
yeah,
Yes,
but
yeah,
nobody
it's the
they want
freak
to act like
offs.
they don't even know Diddy though. Like you notice that everybody want to act like they never met him, don't know him. Epstein too.
Of,
Like
of course, of
you can
course
know
not.
the person
Of
and not
course
know what
not.
he's doing, but you can
Of,
know
of
him and
course
not
not.
know what he's doing, right?
Of course not. Of course not. You see what Austin is doing? Did you see Austin video?
Yeah,
Austin
I
was
saw
like,
it.
he's the he oh he no Austin. You would think Floyd was the devil. You would think you see how BMT them trying to distance themselves. They were platforming this guy. When this guy had motion, they were pretty much clout sucking him. When he had a little clout and he was moving in these streets, they was with him, sipping off all the clout they could get from him. They didn't care if he was a weirdo because he was an ambassador for the brand, for the culture, for the movement. So they wanted him. He was a good look for them for whatever reason. They wanted eyeballs. They wanted eyeballs on the movement.
But
Now it didn't.
are you
Now it
automatically
blew up in their face.
but are you the same person as that person if you knew him and you didn't know what he was doing? Because I think everybody get in this space, you
If
automatically
you funded it,
guilty. You funded it,
if
but you
if
don't
you
know what you
funded it,
funded. Like sometimes I give out, super chats to help. You don't know what you funding. You don't know what they doing when they go in the restroom, when they turn off this live. You don't
Bro,
know.
bro,
so why are you
bro.
giving?
Hey,
So why
hey,
are you
hey,
giving a grown ass man money who you don't know?
Okay. So this
fir-
is the
fir-
question. This is the question we talked about earlier in this live, and Ulysses can attest to this. This is the question I had. Can you be charged for this? Hypothetically, let's just say Floyd did a fundraiser, and it was $1,000 fundraiser, and he said he wanted to go to Brazil, but the donators, the people in the chat, didn't know what he was gonna do. But let's say he had top two donators that give him like 80% of the donation, and they donated it, and the other 20% was random people, and they donated that money. He went to Brazil and engaged in that illegal activity. Can those top two donators that donated to him through Cash App, can they be held responsible for what he did.
No, not at all. If they're not involved at all, not at all. If he put up the reason is to go to Brazil and they gave him money to go to Brazil and they have no reason to, or you look at, they look back at what those people sent it for, not at all. They're not going to jail. No, none of the supporters are going to jail. He's going to jail for what he did. That's it. Unless you can prove that he was sending money for you to set up something and you're a part of it, middleman, or you about to get some money from it, or any shape or form of that. Otherwise, the donators don't get nothing. They just send the super chats, normal like other YouTubers. All of the YouTubers in this travel space, if any of them come up right now with any of these files or any charges, that's it. It is what it is. Like Mr. Beast, you're gonna give everybody that super chat Mr. Beast. If he come up with anything touching anybody or doing anything, you can't charge all of them. Come on, we here for different reasons, and whatever they do behind the scenes is what they do. But the
No,
thing
you
about
you
it is,
you
you
can't get
can,
anybody for that. No, you
yeah,
can't get anybody for that. We understand that. That's silly to even think that.
no, but are
However,
you guilty if you know somebody like Austin and the rest of them? I'm not trying to protect them or nobody, because I had a situation in real life to where I knew somebody, I partied with him, I hung out with him, and I didn't know he was doing what he was doing until he ended up in jail. So is it me? Is it automatically me? I'm doing the same thing? No, not at all. You can have a
no,
brother,
no, but
a blood
look
brother.
at the context, brother. Look at the context. Look at the context. If you know somebody, for example, if I have a homeboy, okay, I have a homeboy. We go out, we play basketball, we hang out, whatever, and I find out that he's sleeping with kids. No, no, that no, that's not my fault or whatever else. However, if we both hollering at girls and we hollering at young girls and blah blah blah, and then he go a little younger than he's supposed to go, or you catch him looking at somebody, or you catch him saying some stuff that is, it's not your fault, but you can distance yourself. You can't control what another man do, and we not saying that Austin Holloman or BMT or any of these guys could stop Floyd from doing what he's doing. That's impossible. You can't stop another grown man from doing what he's doing. However, you can distance yourself, and they never distance themselves until the fact after the fact. You can't. It's kind of like being an accessory after the fact.
Yes,
They
but you
are
saying they didn't see
accessories
the
after
signs?
the fact,
You saying
huh?
they seen this, you saying they seen the signs before this, or they didn't see anything? Because sometimes people can hide it to where when I'm
Fir-
with
First, first of all, Floyd. Let me tell you something. Floyd is a weirdo. Why would you
That's
want a
that's
weirdo associated with your movement? Hey, it don't. Ray Charles thought that he was a weirdo. Just like Jay Rello. You can tell some guys. You can tell guys when they're weirdos. Like for example, me. You listen. For example, you talking right now. Now you don't come off as a weirdo right off the bat. So I mean, I don't know, but it don't take. If you are an intelligent human being, you're not retarded or anything. You should be able to tell
testing,
somebody
testing.
after. You should be able to tell after a certain amount of time if a guy's a weirdo or not.
Next. And here's the thing. Austin and Floyd went to 6 different countries together. They went to Santiago, Chile. They went to Lima, Peru. They went to Argentina. They went to Turkey. They went to Brazil. And I'm missing one more. 6 plus countries together. Each of those countries, they probably spent like more than a week. So you telling me those 6 weeks, Austin couldn't pick up on nothing?
Yeah, it's a possibility. What if they was just talking to regular girls? Listen, it's people that got blood brothers that you wouldn't even know that the whole time they were murderers. I'm telling you, people keep things such a secret that you just would never know. You'll be kicking
I
it with
agree.
them every single day. I'm
I
talking about
agree.
Testing,
drinking with
Okay.
testing.
them,
Can y'all hear
coffee
me?
with them. Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that's like with the R. Kelly situation. Him and Jay Z did a whole album together. Even Nas said it. Nas said, Jay Z, you gonna tell me you didn't see no little girls around R. Kelly?
No, probably not. Probably not, though.
Yeah, some
I
people are
can agree.
very
I,
some
I
people
can
are very
agree.
good at hiding their Like for example, serial killers, for example.
Yo, I'm gonna,
You would
I'm
you
gonna,
would
I can
you would
agree.
never you would
Ulysses. I'm
never
gonna drop off and come back because my thing is freezing. Because I was
yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
drop a link.
So
I
so
can
so
agree.
so I
All right,
agree
all
with
right.
the brother, the brother down underneath me. Pause. I agree with what he's saying because serial killers, a lot of them. I can't. There's somebody that has a YouTube window open and is echoing. The guy with the penguin.
Yes, Eric with
Uh,
the
I
penguin.
don't think
yeah,
anybody would be able to tell.
yeah. You got a window up and is yeah. Okay, so that should be good. So what I'm saying is, serial killers, they got a. It's like you would never think what they do, at nighttime or whatever. You would never thought that they were serial killers until after the fact they get caught.
Bro, they
Some
only
people are
become
very
serial
good at
killers.
suppressing things. It's just
Mhm.
that Floyd is just a social awkward dude. And let me tell you this: how many social awkward dudes in this world there are? I mean, there's a lot of social awkward, but you don't see them doing this Floyd shit. But then you got other normal dudes who appear normal, but they do some wicked shit.
Yeah, but you
See,
notice you only become a serial killer because people don't know. That's how you become a
Well,
serial
well, let
killer.
well let's say this. Nobody see. I think a lot of times you guys don't ask the right questions. And the question you should ask Austin Holloman is, and this is the question I would like to ask him, but he's too afraid to talk to me. This is the question I would like to ask Austin Holloman, and maybe one of you guys when you're on this platform, when the scumbag when he's out there doing his videos, ask Austin Holloman this: why did you and Floyd break up?
hmm.
What happened between you and Floyd that you guys weren't doing content anymore? Maybe he knew and he just quietly stepped away and he didn't warn anybody. Maybe he saw some stuff because he started gonna tell on himself because he's saying, well, there were certain things that I saw, but I just didn't think it out. Maybe I was ignoring it. But ask Austin Holloman, why did him and Floyd stop hanging out together?
Okay, but if that's the case, this is a question for the panel. If that's your good friend, supposedly, are you going to the police or are you stepping away like Austin? If you've seen anything early, are you just stepping away or are you going to the police?
Okay, that's a good question. That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question. Now, I want to come back with this. Okay, if you his good friend and you ain't gonna pimp on him, you gonna keep it a solid. You ain't gonna snitch. No snitching. So why are you on the internet now talking shit? Why don't you just remain silent?
Because
He
he was
remaining
with you.
silent now.
He hasn't
He
kind of.
remaining silent now.
Hmm.
He
And
remaining silent now. So
that's a
if you're
good
gonna be
point.
silent, keep it a G all the way.
That's
So
because
it
they really
don't.
got
So
caught.
what you're saying is not adding up. It's 2 plus 2 equals 75 right now. It ain't equaling 4. It's equaling 75. The math ain't mathing. See, the problem is that you guys, y'all need to start supporting the people that's really out here trying to keep the space, you know, in good shape, instead of the people that's burning down the space or abusing and raping the space. See, Austin Holloman, all he ever was an opportunist. BMT is an opportunist. Razor Rays is an opportunist. All these guys are opportunists. That's why they raked me over the coal. That's why they drugged me in the streets. And all these guys that were, you got egg on your face now. All you guys that were out here sucking on Floyd at night, all you guys, you got egg on your face now. How do you like me now? How do you like it? You got egg on your face now. And here go the funny thing about it. This how cold it is. This how cold the game is. They still out here trying to eat off of Floyd now. They was eating off of him when he had motion. Now they trying to eat off of him when the buzzards are flying around him. That's how cold these guys are. They still trying to eat off of him while the buzzards are flying around the man. And then y'all want to get mad at me because I call these guys out. That's why I call Razor Rays out. That's why I call BMT out. That's why I call Austin House. I call these guys out not because I'm jealous of them. I call them out because I know who they are. And we need to start looking at these people for who they are. And you need to stop supporting them because they are bad for the space. They are bad for your health because all the bad stuff that's happening is because of them. It's because of them. And nobody wants to say anything about it.
Like we said before, Peso was the evil that's necessary.
Yeah.
A lot of
Much needed.
nonsense. A lot of nonsense been going on since Peso left, but it's gonna get corrected. You need balance. The force needs balance. You
We need
need the
you back.
good and you need the good and you need the evil. Because if you don't have the evil, then your so-called good is gonna turn evil.
So
And they
what you're
was
saying,
never good.
what you're saying is Peso's evil,
Peso was the evil that was needed. They didn't like him.
right?
Sometimes it's not wrong to be the bad guy. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Peso. Real quick, there was a lot of conspiracy that you were running from Uganda and a whole bunch of other stuff. What happened to you?
Peso, you there?
Yeah.
yeah, we got to get this cooking back, like this cooking channel back, man. We need this is the
We
necessary
need
evil.
Peso Man back. We need the roast, man.
Yeah, we need the roast. This is because after he left, the space just went. Because he was, I low key think that a lot of content creators were afraid to put content out because they were kind of afraid of because Peso Man was doing reactionary videos on them. So they were afraid to do videos on it because they thought they were gonna get judged and all that and made fun of. And but once Peso Man left the space, it's just the space just turned into just a mess. You know what I'm saying? He was Peso Man was just as a gangster lifestyle said, was a necessary evil in the space that was checking dudes in the space. Like
Listen, they were. I
after
think it
he
was.
left, things go out of
Yeah.
control, and that's why we have NYC the Future, Rello went crazy, and now Floyd.
Listen, I think Razor was excited when Razor started making videos on Peso, man. You guys remember those videos?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was going on. He was rolling on it, video after video on the Peso, man. But anyway, Peso, what brought you back?
The
'Cause I don't know.
streets
This
needed him
situ-
back.
this
The street.
situation right here that brought me back. This situation here.
Okay.
This situation right here. Because once again, I already knew that I was right. Me and Rico, we knew we were right, you know, but sometimes you have to step away and you have to let people, learn the hard way. You know, I already knew I already knew. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know the outcome of these situations. You don't have to be I'm not a rocket science. I'm not a rocket scientist. Not at all. I might work in the lab, but I'm not the rocket scientist. And my point is that all this stuff, I mean, it's just human behavior. If you understand human behavior, you'll understand how the passport movement is gonna really pretty much run its course. These people, they thought that it was gonna be a money grab. They thought they were gonna be able to make a lot of money and get people and sell courses. I mean, look at all the shenanigans. Like I said, look at the shenanigans that these guys have done. You know, right now, that passport brochure that BMT is selling, it's like a bullseye. He might as well put a bullseye on the back of that t-shirt now. Hey, BMT, when you print up your next batch of passport bro t-shirts, on the back, print a bullseye.
Hmm.
Print a bullseye on the back so the guys will have a good place to aim and shoot. Because if you're walking around with one of those passport bro t-shirts on now,
You a
you're pretty
mark.
much walking around with a scarlet letter on you. It's a scarlet letter. You're
You
saying, hey,
walking
hey guys, it's me. I'm here.
you
I'm
walking
here for
around
I'm
with a
here for
big
all the
sign saying,
security.
"Police, come arrest me."
Yes. I'm here for all the 6-year-olds. So yeah, the passport movement, that t-shirt is done. It's like Enron stock now. He's done. And he's on now he's trying to make he's gonna go live every day now, trying to do damage control. I know you're listening, BMT. He's gonna be doing lives every single day trying to do damage control. When we told that boy what to do, we told him, but he didn't listen.
He went out of his way to create an application, right? He's got an app, Passport Bro application. But
But
you
it's
know,
it's way more Floyds in this space. Y'all know that, right? It's way more Floyds in this space.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
a
I was
lot of
saying
them.
earlier. That's what I
Yeah.
was saying earlier.
Y'all think these
Because
people traveling to the other country and not dealing with girls that's questionable on the age that they might tell the dude they 18 and the dude looking at them like, you're not 18, but I still come on. These guys are questionable. Look at this travel space. It's kind of weird. Low key. I've been here for maybe like 3 months and I done seen the craziest stuff in
I
three
mean,
months.
if there's here's the thing, if there's like 100,000 dudes that's traveling, let's just say 100,000 dudes. Out of that 100,000 dudes, let's just say 95% are decent dudes, right? Out of that 100,000, let's just say 5% are dudes who are like, there's some weird stuff that's going on. That's still 5,000 dudes you're working with. That's a lot. And these dudes can be anything. They can have records in the States. And I'm just saying 95 is good. 5% at 5,000. It's I agree with you. There's a lot of Floyds
It
that's
wouldn't even
doing
be
what he
that high
doing.
if you're traveling for the women and not for travel. It'll be way less than that if you're traveling for women. If those 100,000 people are traveling for the women, it'll be way less than 95% of good men. Probably be like 60-40.
yeah, yeah. But I think if you look at Floyd, you look at Jay Rello. Problem is these guys are out in the forefront, being the face for people traveling, and I think that's a problem. The ones that are
Yes,
smart don't even want to show their face. They're smart.
Yo,
yes, yes,
These
how
guys
does
are
because
the
show.
and you got to understand something. Those guys are the faces because those guys are being platformed. They're being
exact
Yeah,
platformed. And
Facts.
let me
Facts.
say this: if those other guys will come out, they will platform them too. See, they want, see, your greatest enemy is really somebody like Razor Rays. He's not for you guys. He talk about the passport bros, this and that. He not for you guys. He's not for you. He's really on the low, making y'all look bad, laughing. Because he brings up all the worst of the worst. He brings up the worst of the worst and platforms them.
And you know what's scary about this whole Floyd situation? There's a lot of guys. Floyd is just a content creator, right? But there's a lot of smart Floyds out there doing the same thing he's doing, but they're doing it, moving it smart, intelligently. That's the scary thing. Floyd got caught at what he's doing, but there's a Floyd that's going overseas doing what he was doing, but they moving it smart.
Floyd got
The-
clients, right? Don't
Somebody was
Floyd,
saying somebody
yeah,
was saying he got client. Somebody was saying the tapes he was producing was that's the
yeah,
most.
he's selling it to somebody, right? So, all
I
right.
mean, again, these are allegations. I just want to see how it pans out in the court system. I can't at the end of the day just speculating against the
He
guy.
might even be like you said, producing this for somebody else. Somebody probably told him, "Hey, produce this." Who knows? Why is he like they caught him with a secretive camera on his phone or his watch? Hey, this guy, I don't think he's that smart to figure that out. Somebody told him to do some of this stuff. That's why I have a hard time believe. If you see how they locked him up,
Yeah,
if he was innocent, he would have started raising his voice. Most people that are innocent start saying something. Hey, man, I'm not involved, but he didn't say a word. That
I think
makes it look.
that's a good point. That's a
He
point I never
wasn't
thought about.
defensive. He wasn't
That's the
defensive.
that's a point I never thought about. I think I do agree with that. I think somebody told Floyd to do these things, produce these things, and I will give you money. And I think there was a monetary benefit from this whole situation. I think what's going to happen, he's probably going to snitch on that person, and I believe that person is going to get caught as a result.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he's smart enough to do all that. You
I
seen that
think yeah,
secretive.
that's what I'm saying. I think there's somebody else involved. We don't even know if he's from the States, the UK, whatever. But
Somebody probably said, "I'll finance your trips. Here's
finance
what
the trip,
I need from you in return. You go to these places, and I'll
and
give
you
you
do
whatever.
do these things for me, and
I'll give
and
you
I,
two
and I'll
grand a
give you
month."
and I'll
No,
give you these.
even more than that, because as sick as this game is, it's the most lucrative thing. If you look it up, it's like the
Right.
most
Hey, Buck,
lucrative.
Yeah,
Buck.
yeah, that's a
These
good point.
guys, these guys got big donors
Big
who
donor
they
ones.
who remain anonymous. You see Jay Rello always talking, yo, we got a $500 cash out from anonymous.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I'm. This is this is a good. I think Floyd might have run into a because remember in the states he didn't had a solid income coming in. I think somebody came up to him and said, "Hey, do this, go there, produce these things, and I'll give you this. I'll pay for your trip, go for up there. But if you do this, that, and third, I'll give you another bonus." And
Yeah,
that I
the other
think,
thing, yeah, hundred
yeah,
percent. No,
I think that's what
yeah.
happened.
The other
Because
thing I
as you
was going to
said,
tell you is they're the face. I hate to say this, right? These guys are at the forefront. If somebody finances these idiots, they all of a sudden become the face for Americans that happen to be black men. You guys don't think about this, so somebody needs to stop them from being the face of. I'm just telling you, if somebody look like me and they're running around trying to portray. I would say, how do we stop this from happening? That you can't stop the actual, but you can try to do something. I don't know. It could be like how's Jay
That's
Rello?
where I came in. That's why I came in.
Yeah,
That's why I came in. But remember, look at all the people that were trying to fight me on it. See, now I'm trying to get you guys to think. Who were all the people that were fighting me? Who were all the people that were trying to fight me? When I was trying to tell you guys what was happening and what was gonna happen to keep yourself safe, I've always worried about people's safety. Because see, what you fail to realize is that when you go to these countries, anything can happen to you and ain't nobody gonna do shit. Right now, if you go to Colombia and somebody walks up to you and put a bullet in your head, there's not gonna be an investigation or anything. They're
No,
gonna
there
put
isn't.
your ass in a body
There were
bag
cases
and they
that
gonna
actually occurred. There were
yes, I know
cases.
it happened
Timothy
with
Reed.
Reveal. That's what it
Yeah,
happened with
Reed,
Reveal,
yeah.
and that should have let you know right then and there. That was
Yeah.
that was a perfect example of what can happen to you. And that's not even in Colombia. That's in all foreign countries, third world countries. Now, if you got shot in France, there might be a little investigation. They might do a little something. If you get shot in Great Britain, they might do a little something. But if you get shot in what Caracas, Venezuela,
Oh
Nothing.
yeah.
ain't shit gonna happen.
Right.
If you get popped in Medellin, ain't nothing gonna happen. You get your throat slit in Rio de Janeiro, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Well, you know what's even scary? There's a story of a guy in Medellin supposedly who jumped off a mountain, and some Colombians just walked by him, American, and started laughing at him and telling him you deserve that. If they already have a certain perception of Americans coming for the wrong reasons, they're just gonna. If you're in the street dying, they'll just walk by you. You think they're gonna stop? I mean, let's be honest.
I
Are
heard
they gonna
that
be?
B story you talking about, but I honestly I don't know if he went up that mountain and probably did like some drugs with them Colombians and might have thought they were after him because he had too many holes in his story, man.
I mean
Right.
that story, yeah. He was saying he was jumping over mountains, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
like he had too
yeah,
many
yeah,
holes. Maybe he did bad drugs.
and I'm
Hey,
like, if you
hey,
ever
Buck,
been to, if
Who's he talking about? The dude that jumped off the mountain and then the
yeah,
next day he was in the barber shop? That guy?
that guy, that if you ever went to Medellin, you would realize how big those mountains are. He was saying he was jumping over those top of the mountains, and I'm like, that was the first red flag of the story. That didn't add up.
And he started taking
Um,
off his clothes because of a sin. Like, bro, what? I was like,
and
what
he
was
was
going
talking
on?
about when he broke his leg, he popped his leg back open, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
there's
there's too
something
many
wasn't
holes in
adding
his
up in that story. But yeah, I think the scary thing about this whole Floyd thing, I think there's somebody anonymous, and I don't think, if I'm being honest, I don't think he's not in this Travis space. I think he probably met this person outside of the Travis space and gave him a deal to do these things. If you do this, because when somebody is down bad in life, doesn't have some kind of income, they will do whatever it takes. Not saying I condone, they will do whatever it takes to do to produce those income. Unfortunately, Floyd probably met the person and he had him financing his trips, going to these places to produce this.
Well,
I
he
think
he
that's
doesn't.
why.
Yeah, Floyd doesn't have a history in the U.S. So I mean,
And he doesn't
it's
have a history. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he had a history, I could have understand why he did what he did. But out of nowhere, it came out of nowhere to do this. That's why I'm saying I just want to see how this things play out in the court system. Floyd, he's
Or
gonna snitch. He's gonna
or it
snitch.
could be or it could be that's a good I would say that's a good fact pattern. But or a good scenario. But you can do another scenario as well. Is that you got to understand something when you're in these countries and everybody wants easy prey. And who's the most easiest prey in these third world countries? These kids, these young. Well, we're not going to say, you know, super young. We're going to say 15, 16-year old, 14, whatever. They they're hungry. They want food. $10 to them is like $100, and they're more compliable. They're easily to be manipulated. you know, versus a grown woman. And a lot of times, these guys, they go out here and they mess with these grown women, and sometimes it could be difficult for them. And we got to understand something too. Um, Floyd, he has like a childlike mentality, so even prostitutes would probably find him very boring or childlike.
That's hey, Peso Man, Peso Man, Peso Man.
I-
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That child-like mentality. I think the theory is how he got talking to the situation. I think there's external factors that's playing into this motive. Because think about it, if Floyd, as you said, if Floyd got talking to this shit, because if he was a regular person and said, if somebody came up to you and said, "Oh, do this, do that," you'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, get the hell out of here! I'm not doing that shit for you." But Floyd, knowing that he's burnable, somebody probably took advantage of the situation and convinced Floyd to go to Brazil and do this thing. Remember, he doesn't have a history of it in the States.
right.
So I think there's an internal person that probably convinced Floyd to do this. And this is why I'm looking forward to this case, how it pans out in
Hey,
the court system. And I want all the facts to come out so I can see
hey,
what has truly happened.
hey,
Because
if
here's the
you
thing.
would,
Here's the thing. How many times in the past, how many times in the past, vulnerable people were taken advantage of? Because here's the thing, y'all don't understand. This world is fucking cold. And vulnerable people in the past, and I'm talking about people with the mental capability. You see people like getting preyed on. Like you see like old people getting scammed every day for millions of dollars of their retirement. Just think about Floyd's situation. I mean, he somebody ran into him, took advantage of the situation, and we don't even know. That's why I'm saying.
Look,
That's what I'm
I'll tell
saying.
you what
He's
I'll tell you
very
what I think.
burn.
Yeah.
He's very vulnerable.
Well, you know what
I
doesn't
think
add up is they're trying to make him look like he's a criminal. He was arrested for misdemeanor, resisting arrest, and something else, but none of it is tied to child molestation or whatever
that's
exploitation.
what I'm. But
So
here's the thing, Rod. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. The thing I'm saying, Rod, is that he
they're
got
trying to portray him
somebody.
to be something he's not.
No, no, no. Forget all
why
that.
do you think they're
For,
doing
for,
that though? Why? That's the question you should ask. Why do you think they're doing that?
I think this is what I think. I think the Brazilians, and when I say I don't know what part of maybe the government, not just the police, because the police don't try to, they don't display all that. They don't just expose all that unless somebody told them to. So I think what they're trying to do is either get people's mind off of things I couldn't tell you, but it doesn't make any sense because they're trying to make him out to be something he's not. He got
What
arrested for
what
a misdemeanor. He didn't get
what they're
arrested. He didn't
trying to
do anything in
do?
the U.S.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is that they're trying to set up a pretext.
Right,
They're trying to set up a pretext. They're saying when they use his other criminal history, they're letting you know that he's not a nice guy,
right,
that he's nefarious.
right.
So that's what they're doing. So they're piling on number one. That's what they're doing. But more importantly, what they're doing is that they're trying. And I said this once, and I'm gonna say it again because apparently nobody's listening. They're trying to put a face on the passport bro movement because I'm just gonna be just honest with you guys because apparently a lot of these guys don't understand the passport bro movement is a it's a black eye to a lot of these countries. They don't want that shit.
Right.
They want their tricks to come in, spend money, sleep with their women, and go home and be quiet. That's what they want. They want their tricks to come in like good tricks, spend money, have a good time, you know, bust a few
Keep it.
nuts,
Yeah,
and then take their asses home. And they can talk about it amongst their friends and hee hee ha,
that's a
but they
great
don't want
point.
they don't want you on they don't want you on the internet with a microphone in your face with a camera talking about how great the
Top
coochie
five
was.
countries. No, they're saying the
look,
top
look,
five countries.
Read this comment over here, and this is the theory I have. This is the theory why I came up with my own theory. Look at this. They were saying that Floyd was doing for donation money. He was pouring milk over his own head just for money when he was in Colombia. He's just a puppet. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that he came across a person, this unknown person, which I think is going to be Floyd is going to snitch on him, and that person is going to be found. That also person is going to be tried. I think there's another person externally that convinced them to do this, produce this for monetary benefits.
Yeah, but even for the money, if he did it with
I'm
6 year old or whatever,
I'm gonna
it's
tell you. I'm gonna tell you who it was. I'm gonna tell you who it was. I already know who it was. You want
Who's
me to tell
that?
you who it was? It was Austin Diddy Holloman.
Come on, man. All jokes aside, man. If that come out, nah, come on, man.
It was Austin Diddy Holloman. Austin Diddy Holloman.
come on, man.
Now
This
he's
is
now
you're
he's
joking
trying to
now.
distance himself. Now he's trying to he's trying to have you seen some of the foul things that he said about Floyd? He could have easily just said, that's really messed up what happened to Floyd. We did a few videos and content together, but I don't want to be associated with him. And this is the last time I'm going to say anything. I hope the court, I'm just going to sit back and watch the court, process go through, blah, blah. No, he's on there. Floyd is a scumbag. I knew he was no good, trying to distance himself. Because, see, Austin Diddy Holloman sent him over there with those phones, those cameras, and a boatload of cash.
I mean, all jokes aside, man. I don't think. I mean, if that was if it turns out to be Austin Hahnemann who's behind all this stuff, it would be the most craziest story. But I just don't. There's a low possibility. I think there's another person that's involved in this story because, like I said, what he was doing for money, he was doing all kind of things for money for donations. And just think about it. NYC the Future right now, he does the same thing. Like people be telling him, "Hey, uh, I'm gonna send you $100. Do 15 push up or whatever." He'll do it. He doesn't push back. So what I'm saying is there are people like that in the world who will do anything for money. And unfortunately for Floyd, he did this. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I want all the facts to come out in the court so we can just see who was behind it, who was involved, who was
Hey,
donating.
hey,
Because they're gonna
let me
they're
say
gonna
this,
find
Buck.
out. They're gonna
Hey, let me
find
say
out
this,
who
Buck.
was donating.
Hey, let me say this, Buck, before I leave. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get off. Let me say this. If Floyd rolls over on Austin Holloman, that's his only way out.
Mm,
That's the
mm,
only way out. Hey Floyd, if I was you, I would roll over on Austin Holloman. That's your only way out.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because they want Austin Holloman. That's who they really want. They don't want you, Floyd. They want the big fish.
Mm.
They want the big guppy.
He ain't lying.
The one with the baby all over his body.
Mm.
That's the one they want. So
but
Floyd, if
you know
I
what?
was you,
You're right because Austin actually he's the one that caused a lot of chaos in Brazil.
Yeah.
A lot on social
if
media.
I
Let's
was
be
you,
honest.
Floyd, if I was you, Floyd, I would roll over on. That's your only way out. I would roll over on Austin Holloman and get my ass out of this shit.
Mm.
Because trust me, you don't want to be in a Brazilian jail.
For
You
35 years.
as an American, you don't want to be in a Brazilian jail, man. You better, soon as the prosecutor you better cut a deal.
He's still gonna do his time.
Mm-hmm.
Snitch on
Yeah.
somebody else ain't gonna face that. He's still gonna do his 30.
It
Hey
depends. It
Peso.
depends. It
Hey
depends.
Peso. Hey Peso. That link in the back chat, that's for my channel. Click that link. I'm gonna go live if not tomorrow, probably on Friday.
All right, I'll hit you.
And Rico got my number too, my personal number.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll get Rico. I'll tell Rico to send me your number, and then or tell Rico to give me your number, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
Peso man, we want you back from retirement, man, because we definitely need you in the space. This space, God was getting just wild, man, and it's like I felt like you was the one that was keeping things in order. You was a necessary evil, and we definitely want you back. To the guy, what's it that? Is it Gate? To the but. I know you only been to the space in 3 months, but Peso man, back in the day, used to be a workhorse in the space, man. He had the space like on a chokehold. Like he was like a lot of guys was afraid to do like contents, being afraid to produce it because knowing that Peso Man was doing reactionary video, just dissing them.
Hey, Bait. Had Peso not left, your boy Future wouldn't be here now. Trust and believe that.
I don't think this whole Floyd situation would happen. I think, to be
Yeah.
honest, um, I
Because
don't.
actually Peso saw through motherfuckers that we couldn't see through.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, everybody in the space is you never know what day something might come up on them. So it's real tricky in this space.
may I ask you like how you found the space? Like what YouTuber, what algorithm, what's the algorithm looking
Well, I
like?
started my travel channel. Then next you know, these travel people start popping up all over my travel page.
But what made you start your travel channel?
Oh, I travel all the time, so I wanted some extra income. My boy started YouTube, and he make like 10, 11 bands a month. But he what he does is he cuts people grass, them worn down houses, and he videotape it. So
You
with
got
that,
to
I
can
saw
you
him making money. Huh?
can you drop your channel in the private chat so I
Yeah, I
can just
already
subscribe?
did. Yep, I dropped it right. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
So
see it. Yep, yep,
uh,
yep.
so what he did
Yo,
was he make like 10, 11 bands. Once I seen that, I'm like, yeah, I got to do something that's comfortable for me, and it's the travel channel because I travel like 3, 4 times a year.
But keep in mind, don't rely 100% on it because Checking Effect just came out and said his revenue is going down because this travel shit. The income is kind of variable. There's some months you might make some good money, other months, I mean, it goes
and,
up and down.
and YouTube getting ready to change. Hassan
Facts.
Campbell Hassan Campbell was talking about it yesterday. YouTube's getting ready to go through a big change and they want more family friendly content. And
Okay.
he was saying, and Hassan Campbell was saying that's easy for him. He was like, yo, I could do YouTube lives with my daughter. Just have a 3 hour live, just conversating with my daughter. So it's getting ready to go through a change. Y'all watch for it.
I think YouTube is pushing the shorts more than regular videos. That's what Ace Live did a video a few days ago. He's saying like the shorts are getting pushed more now than regular videos. So
So
YouTube,
I mean,
they need to push mine because I just dropped a whole bunch.
because YouTube doesn't like want to pay people for long videos, and the shorts like what 30 seconds, 15 seconds.
because what they find out is like people just have that TikTok attention span,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like nobody's gonna watch a 15-minute YouTube video when it's like when there's a lot of things going on. It's like they watch that TikTok. That's why TikTok got popular because
Well,
people just have.
actually, my 15-minute videos got more shine than my little 2 minute videos.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I dropped a whole bunch of shorts. They only got what 200, maybe 300 views, but then the 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 15-minute videos that I did got thousands of views. So I don't know. Shit is working different for me, but it is what it is. Ulysses, thanks for having me up. Yo, I'm gonna bounce.
All right, guys.
yeah, but
Any final thoughts, bro? I'm gonna bounce too and shit. I gotta work in the morning and shit.
I so is there any way we can keep track of this whole Floyd case thing?
I
like
think
that tracks.
there's gonna be like updates. You know, I have a friend that's in law enforcement in Brazil, but I kind of don't want to ask her. I'm just like, she's like a really good friend of mine. Like,
Because like I was saying, I think there's like I was saying earlier, I think there's external factors that's kind of like puppet controlling Floyd, that told him to produce these. But monetary, Floyd was like, okay, because think about it, Floyd didn't had any of this case in the states. Why all of a sudden this popped up?
It don't matter
So,
who told him he's going down if he did it. It don't matter. You can go tell me to rob a bank, and I never did it before. If I go rob that bank, I'm going down.
but here's the thing. But how about the person that told you that?
That's
He's too.
true. Yeah, everybody. If he snitch, everybody that's involved, he got clients. He probably selling it to the dark web.
That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. Something is being. I feel like there's more to this story than Floyd just being caught with this. I feel
Yeah,
like
he
there's
ain't
a
doing it for
lot.
free. He ain't doing it for his
There's a
popularity.
lot, and I feel like this story is gonna blow up to the point that the Brazilian government is gonna catch this. It's gonna circulate. It's gonna go viral. It's gonna come all the way to the states. Um, and I think it's gonna be a bigger deal than what it is. But
Trust
I'm
me.
just more interested.
If he
What's
snitch,
that?
it's going to be Americans involved. Bet you.
Oh,
I
you
bet you
think so?
some of his clients. Yeah, some of his clients. What you think Brazilians paying all that money for that type of stuff when they can do it themselves? Come
Yeah,
on, man. Yeah, it's going to be
yeah,
Americans, and watch. They're going to find all those clients and the people he's talking back and forth to, unless he's just selling it strictly on the
yeah.
deep web or something like that and getting crypto on the
Yeah,
back end.
I don't think he's smart enough to figure that out. Something doesn't add up. He if you notice the way they arrested him, he was cooperative. Not one word out of his mouth. Something doesn't add up. I know he's not dealing with a full deck of cards, but something just doesn't add up.
And Rod, let me ask you this: do you think there's an external factor that's controlling Floyd to produce the content he was producing?
I think somebody's telling him what to do. Period.
And
Because he's not smart enough. You've seen him. I
and
mean,
that's
he's not.
and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. If Floyd cannot do this his thing, I think that's what I'm saying. Floyd, here's the thing. What I was saying earlier, Floyd is just a vulnerable. Unfortunately, he's just a vulnerable person. That if you told him, "Hey, do this, do that," he probably would. And I believe that somebody with a very bad intention that probably told him to do that. And I believe that's what happened.
Yeah. Somebody's
And
financing trips to him.
But it's the
and,
money,
and
most likely. It's
is
the money more important.
is a monitor. What's going to happen is here's the thing. I think he's going to take a plea deal in Brazil, but he's going to snitch, and the person who controlled it is gonna the person who's behind all of this stuff is gonna get
I think
But
he's
bigger
out of
none
Dodge,
charges.
of
though. Don't you think that guy left, though? You think he's gonna wait around to get arrested? He saw Floyd get arrested. He's out of there, bro. If
Yeah,
he's a
he's out of
forger,
there.
he's out of
And
there,
if they
bro.
smart, they were switching the phones the same way Floyd was switching the phones. I hear he's switching phones every week. So I'm sure that the people he was talking to doing the same thing.
Yeah,
He probably go down with this situation by himself.
Hmm.
For
all they gotta
real.
do is follow the money. However he's getting paid, they'll find out.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
because the
they're
money
gonna
is
follow
big.
they're gonna follow the money trail. That's the thing. But
Even
the
if
thing
it's
is,
crypto, I think they'll still find them.
now you think you can find it with Bitcoin?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah. I,
probably
I I
not.
think now they a little bit they can like it's somehow they can figure it out, but
You can
it's
still put your Bitcoin in a scrambler before it comes to you.
oh no kidding.
Yeah, you never heard of that? I trust me. Monero. Yeah, you can put it in a scrambler. Then it'll come back to you with, it'll send it through all types of stuff, different wallets and all types of places, and then send it back to you.
Yeah, like I said, it's
Wow.
like I just don't think Floyd just is that smart to get behind all this. There was some kind of external factors that was behind it, and
What it's a
Floyd,
multi-billion-dollar industry what he's doing, dude. So
That's what
yeah,
chances
I'm
are
saying.
one of these child molesters living in one of these first world countries probably said, "Hey man, I'll send you some money. Just send me this every week or whatever."
yeah,
And I don't know. I don't. But he never gave me the vibe. If you notice his videos, he never mentioned anything about kids or anything like that. he did a good job hiding it if that's the case.
That's
Because
why it's really
sometimes,
not really his style like that, but the money was too good for him to
yeah,
resist. That's
he's
what it
Yeah.
slow.
was.
Normally he's slow, so he's got a childlike mentality, so he could relate to younger kids, right? So it's easier for him to interact with them because he's already got a childlike mentality. I think he's got Asperger's or something like that. I'm not an expert. It's
Yeah, I'm not an
Asperger's
expert.
or autism.
Yeah, that's the and Rod, that's what I was saying. It's like he's vulnerable in life,
Yeah,
and somebody took kind of
Took
like
advantage of him.
they
Yeah.
took advantage of the situation,
yeah,
and they said, "Hey, Floyd, I'm gonna give you," because as you said, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry,
yeah.
and they said probably say, "Hey, Floyd, do this, that, and the third, and
Right,
I'm gonna send you this in Bitcoin or whatever every month."
right.
Floyd was like, "Oh, okay, bet." And
Yeah,
that's why here's the thing. Knowing Floyd is dumb, he's gonna snitch on the person because if he was about that, he wouldn't snitch, right? He probably gonna snitch on the person, and the person's gonna get found out. They'll follow the money trail. It's gonna be a multi-country situation where a lot of countries will talk, systems will talk to each other, officials will talk to each other, and pinpoint who is behind this and all that. And it has been done in the past. So I think uh, there's an external factor that was behind this. That's again pretty much my theory. I just don't think. Excuse me. I just don't think that Floyd one day woke up and just chose this kind of lifestyle. I
Yeah,
think
but you
there was
don't
a
think the people are smart enough? The people that
yeah.
he's selling to are smart enough to back up their end because even on the deep web, if you go try to search that type of stuff, they come into your house. Like you don't even get a chance to search that type of stuff. So that the people he's selling it to most likely covered all their ends to where he's sending it to an email, they send it to that email, like they doing all types of stuff to where when he get caught, he's gonna be the only one caught.
But remember when they said when he was they were bringing those the two underage individuals to the Uber, they said he was using fake Uber accounts
Yeah, it's all types
to
of stuff
do
he's
it.
using.
So
Yeah,
that means somebody, like I was saying, somebody was guiding him through the situation.
So you
And
think
I
they're
think
making him the middleman though? So if anything happened, he would be the one that would get caught. That's what you're saying.
right,
He
right.
was the middleman.
Well,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
yeah.
He's like the drug mule that they promise him a vacation and
yeah.
say, "I'll give you 6 grand. All you got to do is A, B, and C." I think that's it. Because if you look at his criminal record, the guy's not a criminal. He's got a misdemeanor, and he resisting arrest. Dude, we've all done stupid shit, but nothing serious. Like he didn't rob a bank or try to kill somebody. Nothing like that, or a felony. You're talking about a misdemeanor. Even resisting arrest can be mistaken. The guy's kind of slow. A slow person will resist arrest if the police tell him, put your hands behind it. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's resisting arrest. So I don't believe all that. I think they're just trying to make him paint him out to be something he's not. I think the fact that he was quiet is kind of weird behavior. Maybe he's not figuring out what's going on. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of the pedos, they grow up, they don't have a record until they get caught.
Right.
They'll go
Okay.
30
Eh,
years, 40 years with no record until they finally get caught.
Yeah.
yeah. And here's the thing though. I mean, I truly believe there was monetary reasons why Floyd just did this. I just don't think it was an ill intention. Well, we got to see the facts, but I just don't think one day he woke up and just chose this lifestyle. I think there was a monetary thing. Some rich person in a random part of the world met him through a dark web, whatever. Found out he was, and you know, and told him do this, do that for me. Because think about it, everybody was when you watch Floyd, everybody was wondering how was it he was going to these places, and how was it he was moving to one place to another and buying these phones and all that. Who was he? Was it was like people are wondering like how was he was getting that?
Mhm.
Okay, but say somebody actually set him up and is doing all of this. If that is the case, what does it change? It don't change nothing. You notice that? It don't change nothing. He did it. No
He
matter
did it,
who told him
but
to
his
do it, how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, he personally did it. So
Hey,
if he
let
gets
me use an
escalated
analogy.
too.
Let's just say you got a drug dealer, right? A drug dealer in the block that sells drugs to the people in the block, right? In their neighborhood. He sells it. He gets caught, and the feds catch him, and they say, "Hey, we're gonna give you a plea deal, but you got to tell us who's the master drug pen behind who was selling, who was telling you to move the work." He takes that plea deal and tells on the person that were orchestrating this. That's the analogy I have for the Floyd's
Listen,
case.
there's a true story of people in Illinois. Like these guys got out of prison. There were some dudes that converted to a religion in prison. They got out, and there was a guy that was an immigrant who was conspiring with the. I don't want to get into it, but with the government. So this guy goes to these people who got out of prison, offer them 40 grand to make them look like they're something they're not. And they were like, they're desperate. They just got out of prison. So he took the 40 grand, and then all of a sudden they started painting them a certain way. If you look into the story, you'll find it in the news. But I don't remember if they were let off or what happened to them. But this immigrant dude from another country wanted to get his citizenship. So he set these guys up from prison. The guys were desperate coming out of prison. They took the 40 grand, and then they painted them a certain way. But I think they got off. The point I'm getting at is when you're desperate like that, people do or say whatever just because they need the monies. So I think the same thing with this guy. I think somebody told him, I'll finance your trips. In return, this is what I want from you. I think that's what happened. Because I
Got
can't see, he doesn't have a history. And the guy, to be honest with you, I just think he's got a childlike mind. So he can't comprehend what's fully going on. And he just doesn't know. He doesn't know
Okay.
what's going on. So I don't
Yeah,
think
but
I honestly don't, I think he's innocent. I just think he's getting this video for another person. But I don't think he's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say he's not guilty, but something doesn't add up. He's slow, dude. Like, be honest. You guys know he's
I think
slow.
I think what he can do is, and here's the thing, he can use that slowness part as a defense part to his case, because he can say that, hey, I was slow, somebody took advantage of me, and that happened in the past where slow people end up getting lesser sentence because somebody took advantage of them. And I think that's what can happen with him in his situation, where he can be like, hey, somebody came up to me and said, do this, produce these illegal stuff for me, and I got caught. And and he can say that. And once he get caught, and he tells on the person that was behind the mastermind that was sending him the money, and I think what's gonna happen, they're gonna go after that person, and they're gonna give that person the bigger sentence compared to Floyd's.
okay, but the thing about it is, say me and you, we sit down, we have a plan to go to this bank, take this money. It's three of us. We all go to the bank to take the money. We get in there, we take the money, whatever. We all run. The cops are chasing us. You get caught by yourself. The other two get away. Is it okay for me to mention those other two when we all knew from the start that this was a bad thing to do? Because you're saying that you basically want him to tell on the whole squad, or I guess everybody else that he was dealing with,
I'm not saying you
to get a lighter sentence.
you misreading it. I'm just saying that he's gonna take the plea to tell on the other person.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
I believe that in reality, when it comes to things like that, and you're the one that got caught, you have to serve the things by yourself because you already knew getting into this that it was a bad thing.
Yeah, I
Everybody
I
knew.
agree with that part, but here, you're not understanding. I'm just saying what I think he's gonna do. What Floyd, what him knowing that he was kind of what he did for it. I just think that there's more to this story than
You,
Floyd just getting
yeah.
caught up with this whole situation.
You
There's
could
just
turn this around and say, is Floyd smart enough to plan a bank robbery? I would say no. So you're going to tell me he's smart enough to do what he's doing? I don't think so. I don't think he's smart enough to do what he's doing unless he's just being like sloppy about what he was trying to do, to be honest with you. So I
I
don't
think
know. Maybe
yeah, I think he was probably sloppy about it. One, that's one theory, or two, there was just somebody behind us orchestrating all this. just so he can, like I was saying, as Bait said, this I think it's Bait or Rod, there's a multi-billion-dollar industry, illegal industry, and there's a lot of money into it. Then there's some people that take advantage of this, and
Yeah,
it's
I think
like
yeah.
I think the money was good for him, so good that he took that risk for
No,
sure.
I
the
think what they
the
did is they
bait
financed
bait
this
bait
trip.
Mhm.
the debate. If bro, there's some people in this circumstances that's willing to take a risk. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
How many for example, in these countries, these girls, the prostitutes in in these countries, they know when they mess with all these men, there's a risk of them catching a SED or whatever, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes they can catch the big H, and but they still do it for the money, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like, there's people in this world that will do anything for the money. So
Well, even look at the kids are supposedly. I don't know if they were in a ride share, but they said to the driver, "We're going to meet a guy that doesn't speak Portuguese." Well, if these kids are up to no good, why would they disclose that, whether they're teenagers or not, to the driver? If they're looking to get compensated for whatever nefarious things they're about to do. But truth be told, just something doesn't add up.
yeah,
Kids that
Sometimes the kids just be talking like the
okay,
driver probably broke into like a regular conversation with them,
right?
chopping it up, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's
they
true.
probably just said something like on the lines of that, and he noticed like, come on, it's midnight, y'all like 13, come on, something weird here.
yeah.
But
Somebody in the
if you
chat said
yeah,
somebody said in the chat the Brazilian government did 3 months of investigating this case, and they found that he was facilitating the the illegal stuff of the I don't want to say the food, yeah, that
Hmm.
stuff. They found that he was facilitating. Think about it, facilitating. So that means it goes back to my theory. What I was saying, there's this external factors that's involved, and I think that Floyd, once he gets caught, he's just gonna tell on that person, and
yeah. Well, here's it.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be a domino effect.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Who knows? It might be a random dude. I don't want. They just said a random dude in France
They listen.
that
They gotta portray him a certain way. If you look at his photo with his hair on, like looking all funky, look at his photo and then his criminal history. They're trying to portray him a certain way. They didn't place a photo up there of him where he
backs.
looks all like look presentable. They look at
Yeah,
him.
but
His
are they
photo.
portraying you a certain way if you're doing the actual act?
Well, no, of course. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know whether he's innocent or guilty, but the portrayal of this guy, he's innocent until proven guilty. Why would you sit here less than 24 hours, not even 24 hours, all of a sudden come out and say, here's what this guy's been doing? Of course they got the evidence in the room, like that's what was there. And who knows if that was even planted? It's a third world country. They could have just arrested him, taken him out, and planted that on him because it's still a third world country.
Bro,
It
him out of all
happens.
people, he don't have no money. Him out of all people, come on, man. There's so many black people out there that they could have got
Yeah.
that had more money. He had no money. He was most likely really doing this type of stuff.
That's what
I
I'm
got you.
saying.
I got you. Yeah,
That's
that
what
makes sense.
that's
All
what
right.
Rod. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's somebody that spoke English. They didn't want to do with a local because there was a language barrier, and it's somebody that spoke English. And I think it's somebody from a Western country. It can be like UK, Australia, United States, Canada, that was orchestrating the shit. And they found Floyd, and they took advantage of the situation.
They reached out to him by social media and said, "Hey,
Or the
man, can we
dark
do a
web.
consult? Can we do a consultation?" Had a consultation with the guy.
And you know what's so funny? He's selling it for 2,000. The person he's selling it to is selling it for 50,000.
Facts. Yeah,
Wow, that's yeah.
yeah. Yeah. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, unfortunately,
All right.
and there's a lot of money involved with it. And
Well,
there's some people
yeah. I mean,
that's
look at who's Rello, New York, the Future, and then Floyd. These guys, what they do is they raise money for their trips, but they're doing it for the wrong reasons. It's not like they're raising money to go look for a girlfriend or a wife. They're raising money for the wrong reasons. So it's easy to exploit these guys. It's not like people are saying, "Hey, go ahead, let's raise some money so this guy can go find a girlfriend in Brazil." That's not the case. Let's go raise money so you can go get a prostitute or
Yeah, but
whatever.
that's the chat is asking, are we saying that he's innocent because someone set him up? That's what I'm trying to tell everybody else. No, he's not
Yeah.
innocent no matter what if he did it. If somebody
No,
Right.
no, no.
somebody set
Oh.
me up and sent me to go do drugs, I know it's drugs, and I go deliver it and I get caught. I don't care if I done never had a criminal record, never had anything. I got involved and I got caught. Simple.
Bait. Let me ask you this though. Let's just say you had a you were just you were a slow person, and not saying that you were slow. I'm just using an example. Not let me not use you as an example. Let me just use a random person. Let's just say that person was slow, very slow, and another person who's very smart took advantage of that slow person and said, "Hey, you want to do this for me, and I'll give you money, but that risk is very high, but the money returns is also high." Is would it can you as a judge or whatever, can you give that person the same sentence as you would with a normal person?
Yes, because that person still knows right from wrong. They're smart enough to know what they're doing. They know how to do it, when to do it, who to send it to, how to collect money. They know all of that. They're not that slow. They know that much, right? So I'm gonna hit them with the same thing they know. Yeah, they know it. Think about it. The Floyd dude, he know how to send videos, right? He know how to talk to clients. He know how to receive money. He know how to send Ubers. How slow is he? Honestly, he know how to talk to the little girls. All that. How slow is he?
But here's the thing though. If it was and this is another theory I have, if it was just for himself, he wouldn't have all those phones and storage just for himself. That's why I think there was a theory
Nah, you get too
of him.
comfortable. You get comfortable. He thinking nothing gonna happen. Sometimes you get too
Mm,
comfortable, even with drugs and money and anything else. You know, everybody get too comfortable. You start having the packs next to you and start having the cash next to you. You just start having like pistols out, and
facts.
like after a while, you
Yeah,
just get too comfortable.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Ulysses, what do you think? I mean, we haven't heard from. What do you think? Do you think there was external factors that
Yeah, I mean
made
that's what I said.
Floyd?
That's what I said in the beginning of the live. I was like, I feel like somebody was pushing him through it, like offered him some money, used him as a mule, as a middle guy. Like if anything goes wrong, he's the one that's gonna get hammed up. You know?
And do you guys think that that person that's behind this, do they have some kind of a safe guardrails that's defending him just in case this when this shit
There's a
when
lot of
left?
corruption though, fool. I mean, this is like you said, this is a really like rich industry, so they could buy cops off and shit, or even tip a cop off and shit. You know, like, hey, you know what, like I know a guy that's doing something like that. You know, make yourself go on the newspaper. Just leave me alone. You know, like these guys have a lot of money. They do the same thing in Mexico. What the cartel does, right? Like you know, like
I'm sure
so.
they. I'm sure that Floyd don't even know who he's dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, who
Trust me,
knows,
that's
man?
how deep it is.
You're gonna
Because
have to
this game,
be waiting.
that game ain't like somebody that you meet friends and shake hands and be like, "Oh, hey, I'm Tom and you Tom." Nah, this is so that the game is so dangerous that you don't want to be known at all. You're going to do anything it takes not to be known.
We're not gonna find out anytime soon. By the way, this courts like in Latin America drag on for months, years. Like who knows? He could be waiting in a jail cell for 2 years before his court hearing and shit. Dude, who fucking knows,
Mm,
man?
I'm pretty
That's how
yeah.
it
sure.
is in Mexico. Mexico, you're sitting in fucking jail for years before your court hearing, bro. So good luck, man.
And do you believe that all the memory cards they found, they're not going to find one piece of
Who knows,
evidence?
man?
Just
Shit.
one, like just one little piece of evidence on all those phones
It's
and
gonna
all
be a
those.
minute, bro. Like I know people are impatient. We want everything to go by quick, but this is not the U.S. justice system and shit. Hell, even in the U.S. justice system, you could wait for a whole year before trial or
Yeah.
whatever and shit. So this is Latin America, bro. Like there's people that are sitting in jail for years and years before their trial date. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's sitting there for 3 fucking years before he gets a court date. And shit, he could be there for a
Oh,
long
and
time.
you think about it. He was doing this crazy stuff so bad that they
He
had
could
to.
be he could be innocent, bro. He could be just like it was just like a mistaken identity or some shit, and he was just wasted
No, no,
three
no,
years
no.
of his life
Wait,
sitting
wait,
down.
wait. You can't be saying a mistaken identity when they found
No, but I'm just saying, like,
Those,
I'm just saying, like, hypothetically speaking, like, he could get like a lawyer and like, he could beat the case, but it don't matter because he's still gonna be sitting and waiting for trial
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
years.
yeah. Yeah.
That's how
I
it is
agree
in
with that
all of
part.
Latin America, bro. That's how it is in Mexico. You get like hammed up. It's like unless you got money, you could be waiting a whole 2 or 3 years before you get a trial, and that's waiting. You could be innocent, but I'm telling you, you're still going to be waiting in that jail cell for you to go to court, and not just like just premiering hearings. Like that's not even the trial for like, and then maybe like another year for the trial. So that dude could be sitting there for many years before he gets a trial. Like for real, fool. That's how Latin America goes, dude. That's how everywhere it goes. I know in Mexico it's like that, so I'm pretty sure in Brazil it's the same.
And do you think that the police just basically brought all those memory cards, the teddy bears, and all that, and planted it on him?
No, no, I don't think they
No,
planning on
I
him.
don't.
But I just think maybe like
They,
I just think what I think the reason why I don't think he's really all innocent is because he had so many cell phones. Like, who the fuck has that many cell phones? I know he's a weird dude, but like that many cell phones, he had like what 5 cell phones? Like what the fuck?
yeah, and that's why I don't think it was a plant, because even Asta Holloman said this in because he said everywhere he went with Floyd, he was always buying a new phone, despite him having a couple of phones. So
Oh,
that throws the theory of the police planted the shit, because
Of course.
the yeah, because he always had a weird thing going on where he always had. But my thing that kind of threw me off, and I kind of felt bad, is them toys, man. It's I can't even look at that video, the picture anymore. It's like that just makes me rage, man. That
mm.
them toys he had, the kid toys. I don't even know the names of, because I have the teddy bears, whatever they call it.
And
Bro,
think
that's
about
Uh
just like
oh
what he's going
oh
in there for
Mike.
is no joke, bro. Like it's no joke. Actually, I saw this dude was like he worked for the cartel. Saw his podcast actually like a week ago. Well, it wasn't his podcast. It was another guy's podcast, right? But they asked him, "What's the craziest thing you saw in Mexican prison?" He said like a guy went in there for the same thing that Floyd's like getting accused of, and he said they stuck a broom up his ass, like the whole fucking room disappeared and shit. As soon as it went in there, I was just like, "Damn, dude,
Yeah,
like that's
they
fucking hell,
yeah, they
bro."
get
Like
their paperwork on you. There's
oh
hey,
a
no, but Latin America is a bro. You don't understand how Latin America works. Like in Latin America, and I'm talking about everywhere in Latin America, the prisoners are in charge of the fucking prison, and I'm talking about these guys have guns, machine guns.
yeah.
Like, bro, you got to watch these podcasts. There's this dude that was like from, I think it was from the states, and he got like 10 years in an Ecuador prison. Like he was just talking about like every day he would see the most craziest shit, like people getting decapitated, the wardens would get killed, prison guards would get murdered. Like he said, the guys in there like have like guns, they have machine guns, the prisoners, bro, and grenades and shit. Fool. Like it's just
You
fucking.
guys,
and
you
can you
guys
guys
heard
think
about the
of any
case?
other reason why he will have those teddy bears in a foreign country?
I don't
Any other
know,
reason
man.
just to help him?
So somebody in the chat said Austin said he saw Floyd when he was in Santiago, Chile. Floyd was a teddy bear in his backpack, which he thought it was strange. So that's another theory.
Yeah, but
It
can
could
you
be
guys come up with any other reason why he would have teddy bears? Just think
I
about
don't
that.
know, man. The
I
dude
mean,
is weird, bro. So
yeah. Bait. What full grown man has teddy bears, bro?
That's what I'm trying to ask. Like,
Bro,
if y'all
I
want to make
grew
any excuse
yo.
for him, let's see.
I
Let's see if
I
he had.
I I went from, because going from I was playing Game Boys, bro. It's like when I as soon as I turned 6, 7, I was playing Nintendo Game or Nintendo 64, whatever. Who carries a teddy at this age? You know what I'm saying? It's like there's just who we don't even know what he's using those teddies for.
Yeah,
So
man. I'm saying that's crazy. There's no
it,
other excuse to have those teddy bears in a foreign country. I can see it in your regular house, like in the States. You probably, have a teddy bear for the kids that come over or something. But in a foreign country, you have teddy bears. Mm.
no, you're saying in the States you have a teddy bear. Why would a dude have a teddy bear
Maybe it was probably left over from like your nieces, or maybe if you have kids or something, you might have a teddy bear
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
a teddy, yeah, I can understand if you got kids, but as a single dude, why would he have a teddy bear? And that's another red flag about Floyd. It's like, is this why would he have this teddy bear situation thing?
In a foreign country, it makes it even worse, though. Like
It
what
it it
in a
it,
foreign country?
it
What?
does, and bait, and this is why one of the main reasons why Medellin is checking for guys when they come into the country. the suitcases and everything. They found a lot of like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of Floyds that smarter, but they doing the same shit. And just recently in Medellin, there was a guy that got caught with like I believe like 12 like 10 sex toys, and they checked his suitcase and it was like, yo, what the heck is going on? They found all kind of sex toys. What they did is like, they were like, nope, you can't come in the country. Go back to where he was at. So it's just there's some dudes with crazy fetishes, man.
Yeah, man, it's getting crazy because I was trying to think if they put the teddy bears in the picture for a reason, and I was trying to think in my head if anybody wanted to defend him, what excuse would they come up with for a reason why he has two teddy bears in a foreign
Man,
country?
I wouldn't even be his lawyer, bro.
Yeah, like
I
it's no
wouldn't take
defending
I
that.
I wouldn't take that case, bro. If I was a lawyer, bro, I rather defend a murderer than than a
Then
PDF
you see
person.
the article said that he has a video of him with the kid and the mother.
Man, I hope
Oh,
that's
that's
not
what he
true,
was
bro.
saying.
I don't wish. I hope.
Yeah, one of the
Part of me
articles.
wishes that it's not true. Hopefully, like this is just like some bullshit. But I mean, fuck, dude. Like that's. I don't want.
The chances of this being BS is 90% chance that is not.
Well,
There's only a 10% chance that he might have got mixed up in some type of stuff and it's not him. Chance 10%, and I think that's even too high.
Somebody in the chat said there was a camera that was hidden in the eye of the teddy bear. Dang.
Yeah, you see all that type of freaky stuff. That's freaky.
Yeah.
That's freaky. It's not. You can't explain things like that. Even if you had the video and the teddy bear and you was buying adult women, that's still freaky. Recording them without their consent
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's
selling it,
still freaky. Yeah.
that's freaky.
Yeah. Even if she's of age and well above the 18,
Yeah,
that's
you set
still
a
that's
teddy bear
still
up there in the room, and every girl you pay for, you're selling it to the deep web or something. That's freaky.
that is freaky.
oh man, he's gonna be in there for a while, dude. Like I don't know. Just like I don't think they're gonna give him bail because he could like leave. So, but I think it's nobody's really gonna find out for a long time. For the justice system in those countries is really slow.
It's very
So,
slow. There's a
so we're not gonna find
bureaucracy.
out for maybe even 2 or 3 years. Who knows, dude? Like and shit. It could be that long though. That's why I tell people like, man, I know in Mexico for sure you're sitting in that jail cell for years before you go to a damn court date, bro. And that's even just showing up to court, and
Yeah.
it's not even your trial. So I'm saying like I don't know. Well, it might move faster for him because he's a foreigner. Because I know like when it comes to foreigners, they kind of push it a lot faster. Like they did with the DJ from Bogota. They pushed his shit like within 1 year he was ready, and that's weird because usually like in Colombia people go through the system for many years before they get like a trial date. But so they might push his shit faster since he's a foreigner. I think. Who knows? But he's still gonna be there for a while, maybe like a year before we find out what really happened.
They
Yeah.
said they said 34 years minimum.
Who
Yeah.
knows, man? Who knows? If he could get a lawyer, he might be able to get like some, because there's a lot of
Let's just
corruption in Latin America. Like I said, if he gets a lawyer that has connections, they
To
let's
be
might.
just
honest,
say
if he had enough money to pay everybody, he'll be out.
let's
Yeah,
ju-
that's
let's just
somebody. I don't know.
let's just say hypothetically. Let's just say hypothetically, and I'm just gonna say hypothetically. Let's just say hypothetically, he got a slap on the wrist in Brazil. He came back to the States, only got a year. Is there somebody in this space who's gonna do an interview with him after that point?
Nah.
Like maybe one of the big people in the space that would do an interview with him and ask him, "Hey,
Yeah,
why
I
you did
think
that?"
BMT might
Oh
BMT
yeah,
might.
yeah. If it's an interview like that, anybody would do that. That's gonna get you views.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because let's just say hypothetically, the Brazilian government was like, "Oh, no, we're just gonna," because in those countries there's corruption, right? Where you can pay certain shit off, right? Let's say he paid like, let's just say 50 racks, and he was let go. He came back to the States. You think somebody's gonna do an interview with him?
yeah, of
D-
course, bro. Of course, bro. Whoever does that interview with him is gonna have like a
Yeah,
thousand
5 million.
fucking views and shit, bro.
Probably 5 million
5 million
views.
views. Yeah.
Because he made it to CNN on our side, right?
I don't know.
CNN Brazil, not CNN
Oh,
our
okay. I
side.
thought
Yeah,
I thought you made
CNN.
it CNN our side. I'm about to say, yeah, he gonna make 5 million views off the interview.
Hmm. Who knows,
Oh,
man?
so somebody,
We got just gotta be patient, man. So we'll see what happens, man.
so somebody in the chat said, "Did you guys see the video of Floyd playing the peekaboo song with Future's girl? It was very cringe." Yeah, I
I
saw
didn't see
that on
that. Where do
Primo's
I see
channel.
that? Yeah, I need to see that.
Man, Primo also used to roast them like really bad. Remember when he did like the top
Yeah.
played out YouTubers?
I I just the question I have on Austin, and this is what I'm kind of curious about with Austin. Austin, I remembered following. I remember watching Austin and Floyd when they were linking up, right? And Austin will always talk about put Floyd on blast, saying Floyd is always wearing the same shirt. He doesn't take a shower and all that. Okay, knowing that this dude doesn't do all that, he doesn't shower, he always wear the same thing. Why would you want to hang around that kind of dude? You see what I'm saying? Why would he want to even be doing the same content with a guy who doesn't change his clothes?
And the thing about it is, he did, from what you guys are saying, he did 6 trips. That's the
Six
only
trips,
thing
yeah, six
that
trips.
makes it
Which,
questionable. It's like, bro, you
that,
did the first 2 trips. You should have known that he don't shower.
yeah, yeah,
It's
and there
not
is
even
something
about
off.
what he doing on the side. It's about him being clean. If he not a clean person and you knew that, why did you do 4 more trips with him?
And bake. Let's just say hypothetically, you find out he doesn't take a shower, but you also find out that he carries kid toys, and I mean, he's well over 25 at the time. What do you be like? Yo, this is another red flag. Something is wrong with this guy.
Yeah, but if you would have, the thing about it is, even because people be carrying those labubus, or them labubus or whatever. You heard of it,
Yeah,
right? Yep.
yeah,
Well, people carry those. So I wouldn't. The one that he had, I don't know if I seen the teddy bear right, but one of them had like a star on it. It kind of looked like it could be like something that's famous. So if I would have probably seen it in his bag, just one of them, I would have thought it was something like a labubu or something, maybe. Like, because people carry those around now. Even the men be carrying labubus around. So me personally, I would have probably thought it was something like that,
yeah.
unless
I
he
mean,
was
yeah,
extra friendly.
I've seen like people have those, on the Jeeps, Jeep Wranglers.
Yeah,
When the
yeah,
people put those toys above the Jeep Wranglers,
yeah.
that's a very common thing. I can understand that part, but it just, I'm
He would have had to
just,
do something extra for me to be like, oh man, because the bear in his bag, me being from LA and seeing everybody carry them labubus, I would have thought it was normal.
yeah. I think this, what I learned from this situation is, even whoever you meet overseas or whatever, just pay attention to the signs, man. Just pay attention to the signs. Listen to your gut instincts. See, don't be afraid to like call out things, and don't be afraid to walk away from things.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
but the thing about it is too, people got to be careful with putting the guilty by association on the situation, not like you being there when somebody else is robbing somebody and whatever. Yeah, you're gonna be guilty because you was there right there next to them, even if you didn't do nothing type of stuff. But with this situation, to where you can say another man is doing exactly what Floyd did because he did content with him, that's probably not
No,
right.
no, no. I mean, I don't think, I don't, I wouldn't say that, man. I wouldn't, like, just because you did let's just say, somebody did a content with Floyd. It was a one-on-one interview, and let's just say 2 years later, Floyd got caught up in this situation. I wouldn't assume the person from 2 years back was involved with it. But what I would do is, I'll start looking at that person more now. Like, some of the I would start looking at that person more. Before, I wouldn't be paying attention to it, but I would look at that person more, so I can be like, okay, I'm paying attention to this person. I'm like more paying attention to this person. Okay, now the eyes is on that person more. But
So
I
you,
wouldn't, but I wouldn't assume that that person did it because he did a live with Floyd, I would just assume I would just have more pay attention to this person more.
But you see how the Epstein files came out, and you see how Bill Clinton was swimming in the pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if Bill Clinton is just chilling with his homie? That's what's so
Yeah.
crazy. The people wouldn't even know that. They automatically said he's involved in everything that happened. You see what that's crazy? And what if he was really just chilling with, because the dude is the biggest dude. He was famous. Anybody would
Yeah,
go
he
to
was
that spot.
famous.
Yeah,
He back then he was famous.
yeah.
Matter
Biggest
of
in
fact, I think
Hollywood.
it was another dude that was involved. Um, I think it was Joe Rogan that was in the files too.
Yeah, but just because I know you don't mean I'm know what you do. That's why
Yeah.
the people that's saying I never knew Epstein and you was actually there, you're the problem. You probably did something with him. I will come out and say, yes, I was there and I did know him. So what? That don't mean I did anything with him. But the fact that you're hiding it and saying these people, oh, I didn't know Diddy. Oh yeah, I never went to a Diddy party. Like, bro, that makes you suspect. You did something with him, obviously. You're trying to hide the fact that you ever knew the dude. Yeah, that's weird to me. So that's why people gotta just come out and say that they knew the person or dealt with the person, but they have nothing to do with what the person do. The dude go in the restroom and start looking at videos of elephants sticking their hand in their butt. That's what he does in the restroom without you knowing. Then he come out and smile in your face. Like you are really doing, for real.
We'll see, man. We have to be like patient with this. This is not gonna like. I mean, maybe we get lucky in the next 2 or 3 months. We get a little bit more details, but like, who knows, man? Like, I mean,
But just a little, let me ask the panel this question. This by initial the initial findings. Do you think there was somebody that was helping out Floyd to get these files or the videos he was producing for money purposes, or you think Floyd just acted alone in this?
I think he got somebody that was willing to pay. Then he acted alone on making the moves happen. Because even he
Okay,
was sending minors to what American clients? Where would he send? Where was he sending the minors in the Uber to?
I'm talking about the videos. We're talking about the content.
Oh, you said was the content what again?
I'm talking about because they say they caught him with him producing the content and him in the act within the content.
Oh yeah, that's two different type of things. I don't know. In the act, they probably wanted to see him in the act. Some people are weird like that too.
So what I'm saying is, when he was producing the content, was he producing it for himself, or he was producing it for monetary purposes that somebody else was involved?
Yeah, he was producing it for the client, whatever the client want to see.
So it brings me back to my question. You think there was external factors that was involved? So you don't think that Floyd was doing this by himself,
It
right?
has to be. Who is he selling it to? It has to be
Okay,
external. It
okay,
has to be. He ain't just making it to jack off to it in his restroom. Trust me, he's making it to actually make some money. How was he in that apartment? Who was paying for that?
okay.
Yeah, you said
R-
he was broke, right? How was he in that apartment that
yeah,
he busted into?
and that's what I was thinking. It's like this dude was literally broke. He doesn't have. I mean, he's pretty much broke. How was he able to? I was even surprised. One thing I was surprised at how d- he- how he was keeping up with, because Austin was getting donations, but how he was keeping up with Austin going to these countries. And traveling is not cheap, right? He was going from Santiago, Chile, Brazil, Turkey, Romania. It's like, how was he? Oh, somebody in the chat. Look what somebody in the chat said. Police said there was four other suspects. Wait. Can you read this comment, Ulysses?
uh,
How about the other comment? See, she said Police. There was Floyd was in the pawn of somebody games. Yep. So mixtape Dame. Do you have a source of Floyd? Getting the suspects. Like, is that a known source, or are you just saying this?
Who knows, man? We're just gonna have to be patient, man. But anyways, I want to end the live because I gotta wake up early in the morning for work. But thanks for everybody that pulled up. I broke a record. I usually don't have more than like 30 people, but I had like 80 people today. So, but we're gonna. I don't know if I want to do another Floyd video because, like I said, it's gonna be a minute before we find out any information. Like I said, the criminal system works really slow, but maybe we'll find out something like in 2 or 3 months from what's really going on. But we'll see.
I mean, that whole even with the whole that Vitali dude, the case with him, it's been going on for years now, and we still haven't seen anything.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's why I told
They,
guys like this criminal
yeah,
system is like really slow in these countries, man. So
yeah,
we'll find out though. We'll find out and shit though. But thanks for
yeah.
everybody that pulled up and shit. I got like what did I say? I'm gonna have like I'm gonna start doing street interviews and I'm gonna have a few girls that come on my channel to do like give like advice. I'm gonna go to Brazil in 2 months from now. So when I get over there, Brazil's a little bit more difficult to find women because like that speak English. But I got one girl that said yes. She's really nice. But hopefully I could get more guests on the panel. Because Colombia is easy. I could get like a bunch of girls on the channel or whatever. That's easy. But Brazil's a little bit more difficult. It's not too many
Now,
people that speak English over there. But I'll
are you
see.
going
Like,
to Rio?
nah, I'm gonna be in Sao Paulo for like a week, and then I'll go to Rio, yeah, for like a month, yeah. Yeah, so probably link up with Billy Gringo. I think he's gonna go to Sao Paulo to see the Bad Bunny concert as well. So, but we'll see and shit. Like I got like about like the Pocket 3, about the microphone for it. I got the microphone handle. I got like a bunch of shit, man. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of interviews when I go back to LATAM and shit, dude, which is Brazil and Colombia, but and also Mexico. I got like I secured like one ticket for the FIFA for Colombia versus I don't know who they're gonna play, but I know there's gonna be a lot of Colombians and shit there in that game for sure. So maybe I could do some interviews with the locals as well when I'm over there at that stadium. But we'll see, guys, though, man. But thanks for everybody that pulled up, and I got some like really great content coming out next year for sure when I start traveling again, man. So
When you going live again?
I'll
This is
probably
a
go
good.
live
There
in
was a
two
good.
weeks.
This
In 2 weeks, bro. I'll probably go in 2 weeks. Yeah,
this
yeah.
was a good live because I've seen some other people in the chat that I've never seen in your channel before.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So yeah,
so
hopefully it
this
got
was good,
exposure,
man.
man. But it got exposure. But yeah, that's what I want to do. Like I want to have like lives, but like I think when I go back to like I said, Brazil and Colombia, I'm definitely want to have like guests on the panels and stuff. So that should be interesting. I think I wrote like I have like a notebook and I wrote up all the interviews, questions that I want to do, like lives with like I'm talking about like with guests, right? Like I could always make up my own shit when I'm by myself, but like I was like, I got like a bunch of topics now for like Colombia and also Brazil, man. So it should be interesting when I start traveling again, guys. So
Make sure you
also,
check.
I'm also gonna do comedy videos on there too as well. Like I'll do like comedy, like I'll do like let's say I interview a girl in Colombia, I ask her like, why do they lie so much, like shit like that. Just like I don't want everything to be serious or like informative. I do want to have to throw some jokes in there once in a while to make people smile, So
Make sure you check ID.
oh no, I know these girls personally, bro. I'm not putting no randoms and shit. Yeah. So yeah, some of these girls I've known them for like 4 or 5 years. I know their families and all that shit. So yeah. But anyways,
All right,
guys,
bro. All right, take it easy, man. Yep.
all right, Merry
For
Christmas,
sure.
guys, and have a happy New Year's and shit too as well, man.
Yep. For
Buenos
sure. Happy
tardes.
holidays.
All right, man.